The views and opinions of the hosts and guests are their own and do not necessarily reflect the views of the management and staff of Guardian Radio.
Good morning, one family stealing the show on Bay Street and winning the Boxing Day Junkanoo Parade. And the commissioner saying we have nothing to hide over the death of 35-year-old Ashiko Pratt. That's all straight ahead this morning. I'm Chester Robards filling in for Dwight Strachan, and this is Morning Blend.
Wake up, it's a new day. Wake up, it's a new day. It's the start of a new way. Don't you know that it's the start of the end of the old way. Wake up, it's a new day. Wake up, it's a new day.
Good morning again, Bahamas. It is Monday, December 29th. This is Morning Blend on Guardian Radio 96.9. Again, I'm Chester Robards filling in for Dwight Strachan. In a moment, Deandra Cartwright will be joining us. Also this morning, we have Morning Blend Business. But first, it's time to talk about the overnight, the latest breaking news from while you were sleeping and the top national and international headlines this morning. And at the crack of dawn, one family delivered the mystifying magic of 1001 Arabian Nights to Bay Street, stealing the Boxing Day Junkanoo Parade victory with its vibrant, sparkling, and colorful homage to Middle Eastern folk tales. From the front line straight to the back of the line, the winning A-tier Junkanoo group brought the childlike wonder of Arabian Nights to life in a show of thoughtful creativity. Joined by Aladdin and Jasmine, Slick Thieves and Blue Genies hopped off the page and danced in Rosslyn Square, delivering smooth, majestic choreography that drew spectators and excited Junkanoo fans into the storybook world. As the brass played, the cowbell shook and the goatskin drums pounded, most of Bay Street stood to their feet, repeatedly chanting "Warriors," along with the One Family group in a show of unity and Bahamian pride. One Family's claimed victory is the group's first win since 2022, defeating the other A division groups and ending the 4-straight streak of the Shell Saxon Superstars. Finishing with 621 points, the group also won top performance, overall costume, and best music. Behind them, the Valley Boys, led by Trevor Davis, placed second with 578 points as they performed under the theme Revenge of the Anthropods. The Shell Saxon Superstars delivered the Parade of Nations, Echoes of War, Voices of Peace, finishing third with 533 points. The world-famous Valley Boys, 1958, who brought the parade to a close, placed fourth with 528 points with the theme Myths and Legends of Martial Arts. Well, Royal Bahamas Police Force Commissioner Shanton Knowles said police have nothing to hide after the mother of 35-year-old Ashiko Pratt called for an independent autopsy into the death of her son, who died during a struggle with police at the Fox Hill Police Station. Prior to the December 18th incident, Pratt was being held at the station for 2 days on charges related to burglary. Police said Pratt became hostile after 2 officers attempted to retrieve him from his cell and transport him to court. Other officers came in to help the transporting officers subdue Pratt, who began to hold on to one of the officers. During the struggle, Pratt became unresponsive. Officers said Pratt had no prior injuries, nor did he have any illnesses on record by police. Knowles said, quote, "She has a right to ask for an independent autopsy. Of course, that is her at her own expense, and if she gets it, I do believe she will get the very same results. We have nothing to hide as we investigate this matter. I'm hoping that we can have it quickly, our part of the work quickly completed, so that we can send it over to His Majesty's coroner. We will not prosecute this matter. This is something that the coroner will deal with." And while Bahamians are still awaiting the implementation of a Freedom of Information regime more than 8 years after the passing of the Freedom of Information Bill, the release of information by the Judiciary of Trinidad and Tobago on December 23rd, in response to a Freedom of Information Act request, there demonstrated the kind of transparency that could become the norm in the Bahamas if the powers that be fulfill their commitment to the long-ignored law. In the Bahamas, the David administration has demonstrated that notwithstanding the Progressive Liberal Party's pre-election pledge in this regard, FOIA is not a priority. As a result, Bahamians remain in the dark on a variety of areas that ought to be in the public domain, including contracts and deals, other government spending, immigration decisions, and certain judicial matters, among other matters. In its recent release, the TNT Judiciary disclosed information on outstanding decisions and judgments of judicial officers of the High Court and the Court of Appeal to civic activist Anthony Dobson. This was done in answer to his Freedom of Information request dated November 25, 2025. The information covers judges of the Court of Appeal, judges of the High Court, masters, and registrars. The judiciary provided information as of November 25, 2025, on outstanding reserved judgments over 6 months of the Court of Appeal and High Court, outstanding decisions on costs, statements of costs filed but not yet assessed, outstanding reasons for appeals over 6 months, and appeals filed where decisions or judgments of the High Court were reversed by the Court of Appeal over the past 5 years. The judiciary stated, quote, "In acknowledgement of its duties of accountability to the public and transparency in its operations, the judiciary has decided to disclose this information simultaneously to the media." And a 26-year-old Nassau man is accused of raping a 14-year-old girl who he met online. Latrell Roll faced 3 counts of unlawful sexual intercourse when he appeared before Senior Magistrate Chaka Seville. The incidents allegedly took place on December 16th, 17th, and 19th. Roll was not required to enter pleas to the charges and was denied bail. The matter has been adjourned to March 26 for the presentation of a voluntary bill of indictment. Roll did not have a lawyer, and Inspector Cordero Farrington was the prosecutor. Let's take a look at news overseas now. The United States is offering Ukraine security guarantees for a period of 15 years as part of a proposed peace plan, Ukrainian President Volodymyr Zelensky said Monday, though he said he would prefer an American commitment of up to 50 years to deter Russia from further attempts to seize its neighbor's land by force. U.S. President Donald Trump hosted Zelensky at his Florida resort on Sunday and insisted that Ukraine and Russia are closer than ever before to a peace settlement. Negotiators are still searching for a breakthrough on key issues, however, including those whose forces withdraw from where and the fate of the Russian-occupied Zaporizhzhia nuclear power plant, one of the 10 biggest in the world. Trump noted that the months-long U.S.-led negotiations could still collapse. Zelensky told reporters in a voice message responding to questions via a WhatsApp chat quote, without security guarantees, realistically, this war will not end. Ukraine has been fighting Russia since 2014 when it illegally annexed Crimea and Moscow-backed separatists took up arms in the Donbas, a vital industrial region in eastern Ukraine. And the Chinese military staging drills around Taiwan to warn external forces after U.S.-Japan tensions. China's military on Monday dispatched air, navy, and rocket troops to conduct joint military drills around the island of Taiwan, a move Beijing called a, quote, stern warning against separatists and external interference forces. Taiwan said it was placing its forces on alert and called the Chinese government, quote, the biggest destroyer of peace. The first of 2 days of drills came after Beijing expressed anger at U.S. arms sales to the territory and a statement by Japan's Prime Minister Sanae Takaichi saying its military could get involved if China were to take action against Taiwan, the self-governing island that's the world's second biggest economy, says must come under its rule. The Chinese military did not mention the United States and Japan in its statement on Monday morning. Taiwan's defense ministry said it in a post on X that rapid response exercises were underway with forces on high alert to defend the island. In a separate statement, it said it had deployed appropriate forces in response, conducting combat readiness drills. The ministry said, quote, the Chinese Communist Party's targeted military exercises further confirm its nature as an aggressor and the biggest destroyer of peace. Let's take a look at sports now. And the Nassau Guardian naming its senior female athlete of the year. It is Devin Charlton. With sister Anthea Jones, and Jones tied for second. In the last year's battle for the title of the Nassau Guardian Senior Female Athlete of the Year, Bahamian Olympian and gifted hurdler Devin Charlton narrowly lost to Women's National Basketball Association champion Jonquel J.J. Jones. However, this time around, bragging rights belongs to the women's 60-meter hurdles world indoor record holder and two-time champion Charlton, who once again displayed why she is a household name in the local and global track and field community. In a panel of three voters, Charlton, now a three-time World Indoor Championship medalist and two-time champion, secured the first place spot with a total of 44 points. And Grand Bahamian Yolet coach Yo McKeown and the University of Mississippi Rebels women's basketball team picked up their 13th win of the 2025 National Collegiate Athletic Association Division I basketball season on Sunday, defeating the Alcorn State University Braves on the Rebels' home court at the Sandy and John Black Pavilion at Ole Miss in Oxford, Mississippi. Ole Miss, led by the Bahamian head coach, emphatically defeated the Lady Braves 64-44 to improve to a 13-2 win-loss record on the season, while maintaining an unblemished 8-0 record at home. The Lady Braves suffered their 8th loss of the season, dropping to 3-8 overall and 0-5 on the road. The Lady Rebels, who are ranked number 15 nationally, were led by forward Cody McMahon. And in sports overseas, the Patriots became the fourth team to clinch a division title. The Browns kept the Ravens alive, and the 49ers moved closer toward a number one seed. There's plenty left to be settled before the NFL's playoff schedule is set. 12 of the 14 playoff berths have been secured, and 4 teams are battling for the final 2 spots. Both number one seeds are up for grabs, and there could be 2 winner-take-all games in Week 18. New England routed the Jets 42-10 on Sunday and later clinched the AFC East title when the Bills lost to the Eagles 13-12. The Patriots completed a worst-to-first turnaround under first-year coach Mike Vrabel. The NFC North champion Bears also went worst to the first this season. Aaron Rodgers and the Steelers missed an opportunity to lock up the AFC North, losing 13-6 at Cleveland. Now the division championship comes down to the final game when Baltimore visits Pittsburgh. The winner advances, the loser is eliminated. And close to grabbing a franchise record all for himself, Kawhi Leonard elected to take a pass in order to be fresh for another day. Team-oriented to the core, Leonard was actually a bit selfish by request Sunday, scoring a career-high 55 points to lift the Los Angeles Clippers to a 112-99 victory over the Eastern Conference leading Detroit Pistons. The Clippers are now on a season-best 4-game winning streak, and a recent scoring burst from Leonard is the primary reason. Leonard was told by head coach Tyronn Lue he was closing in on the franchise scoring record, but decided to keep his fourth quarter floor time to a modest 6 minutes and departed with just under a minute remaining. He now shares the team mark for points in a game with teammate James Harden. Leonard said, quote, "Like I told Lou, I would rather play another game than go out there and risk it. Hopefully we can get another win and be in the same situation. It is what it is." Harden teased Leonard afterward that it took him long enough to pull off a 50-point game, while also shouting double nickels in the locker room afterward. Leonard is in his 14th season. That's sports, and that's the overnight. Time for your first look at weather. And in your look at weather, there are no warnings in effect at this time. Your general situation as remnant troughing linked to a frontal boundary east of the island chain drifts eastward today. Isolated showers are expected across the central and southeast Bahamas. Elsewhere, weak ridging and mostly stable conditions will persist ahead of a prefrontal trough and associated cold front. Forecast to move into the northern Bahamas overnight, triggering showers along its boundary. The cold front will continue southeastward across the island chain through the work week and stall near the southeast Bahamas by Friday. In its wake, cooler temperatures and high pressure will settle in, returning dry and mostly stable weather with gentle to moderate breezes. There is a slight risk of moderate rip currents impacting Atlantic shorelines. Beachgoers should exercise caution, and swimmers are advised to not venture far from the shore in these areas. Your weather conditions for the northern Bahamas: partly sunny to sunny, becoming fair tonight. A 10% chance of a brief passing shower or two. Winds light and variable this morning, becoming westerly at 10 knots this afternoon and increasing to 10 to 15 knots by this evening. Your high temperature today, 81 degrees Fahrenheit. Your low, 68 degrees Fahrenheit. For the northwest Bahamas, partly sunny to sunny, becoming fair tonight, less than a 10% chance of a brief passing shower. Winds light and variable, becoming west to northwest at 10 knots or less this afternoon. Your high temperature 82 degrees Fahrenheit, your low 68 degrees Fahrenheit. For the central Bahamas, a mix of sun and clouds today, becoming mostly fair tonight. A 10 to 20% chance of showers. Winds light and variable, becoming northerly at less than 10 knots by this evening. Your high temperature 82 degrees Fahrenheit, your low 73 degrees Fahrenheit. And for the southeast Bahamas, a mix of sun and clouds today, becoming mostly fair tonight. A 10 to 30% chance of showers. Wind southeasterly at 10 knots or less, shifting easterly at less than 10 knots by this evening. Your high temperature 82 degrees Fahrenheit, your low 73 degrees Fahrenheit. We'll have an extended forecast for you later in the show. But when we come back, we're discussing today's top stories. That's when Morning Blend continues here on Guardian Radio 96.9, home of fresh news and smart talk all day.
Wake up, it's a new day. It's the start of a new way. Don't you know that it's the start of the end of the old way. Wake up, it's a new day. Wake up, it's a new day.
Fasteners World, Balfour Avenue and Palm Beach Street, has those hard-to-find fasteners for you right now. You can find stainless steel regular hex, carriage bolts, galvanized bolts, threaded rods, nails, self-tap screws, sex bolts, anchor bolts, turnbuckles, masonry tools, hand tools, and weed whacker strings. Check out the rope selection and car body fasteners, too. Special orders are welcome. It's your #1 fastener store. Screws and Fasteners World, Balfour Avenue and Palm Beach Streets. Call 326-1976.
Looking to elevate your gadget game, or are tech troubles simply slowing you down? Escape to a world of innovation at Custom Computers, your go-to store for the latest cutting-edge tech. Whether you need to upgrade your life with the best from Apple and Windows, or your device needs a little TLC, the Custom Computers Know-How Store is the destination for unbeatable expertise and quality repairs. With 2 convenient locations, there's a Custom Computers near you on Patton Street in Palmdale and Cades Village, or call 396-1100.
Tired of banks forcing you to use technology to bank the way they want you to? Your convenience is important. So no matter what your banking needs, Commonwealth Bank's friendly staff are always available in branch for that personal one-on-one service. But when you choose technology, our online and mobile banking app offers you state-of-the-art functionality. The choice is yours. Commonwealth Bank. Bank the way you want.
This Christmas, while we're wrapping gifts, preparing the ham, and celebrating with the people we love, let's also give ourselves a gift that lasts. At CFAL, we believe the best presents aren't found under the tree, they're built over time. A stronger pension, wiser investments, real financial peace. So whether you're just starting out or planning your next chapter, CFAL is here to help. This Christmas, give your future a little love with the help of CFAL. Growing wealth for future generations.
You try to rest, but roll with the best. For all your printing needs, there ain't no one better, no. For posters and banners, magazines and flyers. For window decals, greeting cards and newsletters. No job too big and there's no job too small. You name it, we can print it, just give us a call. Let Print Masters bring your masterpiece to life.
Located at the Nassau Guardian Building, telephone 302-2361.
At Cleveland Clinic, care is everything. So when your primary purpose is to care for the world, you'd start with your community until you're accessible anywhere. You make complexities your specialties and put compassion before anything else, all to redefine what's possible. For everyone, everywhere. For every care in the world. Cleveland Clinic.
No one likes a fender bender.
Oh, man.
From a little scratch to a full mashup, NUA Insurance has got you covered with auto insurance tailored to fit your needs and budget. For affordable rates with free on-site accident assistance, visit us online or in branch and just ask us. NUA Insurance. Ask us because we've got you covered.
Mom, the Christmas cookies are ready. We leave them right here under the tree for
Santa or for CIBC Caribbean?
'Tis the season for dreams to come true. Whether it's a house, land, vehicle, or upgrading your home, CIBC Caribbean can support your dreams with the financing you need. Enjoy incredible cashback deals with mortgages and land loans. Plus, your approved loan gives you a chance to win up to US $5,000. Apply now at www.cibccaribbean.com/sweeten the season. Terms and conditions apply.
Wake up, it's a new day. Wake up, it's a new day. It's the start of a new way. Don't you know that it's the start of the end of the old way. Wake up, it's a new day. Wake up, it's a new day.
Welcome back to Morning Blend on Guardian Radio 96.9. We're streaming live on www.guardiantalkradio.com and the Guardian Radio app for your smart devices and on your televisions on Cable Bahamas Channel 969 or BTC Flow Channel 612. Guardian Radio is all over social media. We're on Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram. Again, I'm Chester Robards. You can join our conversation today. You can tweet us at MorningBlend969 or follow the hashtag MorningBlend. Be sure to like our Facebook page, facebook.com/MorningBlend969. Leave your comments and read what others are saying about topics on the show. You can email us at morningblend@nascard.com or you can text us on the Guardian Radio text line, powered by BTC. Text us at 422-GR96. That's 422-4796. Standard text rates do apply. Also coming up this morning, more weather and traffic. And we have business news coming up in Morning Blend Business at 9 a.m. But first, it's time to talk about what's in the news. And in the news, big headlines in both newspapers this morning. It's all about one family winning the 2025 Boxing Day Parade. What did you think about it? How did you feel about it? I'm going to tell you right now, I thought they were great. Yeah, good. It seems like we all agreed. I mean, my story is that I got out to Junkanoo, took my daughter. It was her first time being on Bay. Like 5:36-ish. Anyway, just before one family hit Rawson Square. And from the outset, I was like, wow, they're looking really good. But when that choreographed dance line hit, I was like, okay, if they don't win, something wrong. I really said that to myself. They were spectacular. They looked good. The choreographed dance moves were nice. That was a great show. But I gotta say, Mr. Producer, I don't know if you saw it live or if you were there, but when those birds with the cages got up there in Rawson Square, and they put the cages down and walked out and started doing the thing. I was like, that is crazy. That was one of the coolest things I'd ever seen. So congratulations to one family, and they looked really good out there. Now the parade itself, what are people saying about that? I actually do not know. So you Junkanus who got the 411 on, I don't know if we talked. Let me read the rest of this story. Some pictures, some more pictures in the newspaper today of the Junkanu groups, if you want to see that. Whoa. Let's see. This year's Boxing Day Junkanu Parade. This is from our story written by our Caitlin Babb. This year's Boxing Day Junkanu Parade was highly anticipated as it marked the first Junkanu Parade managed by the National Junkanu Committee, which took over from the Junkanu Corporation of New Providence earlier this year, and follows a year filled with conflict in the Junkanu community. Ahead of the parade, Minister of Youth, Sports and Culture Mario Boleg expressed excitement for the cultural show and shared his eagerness to see what the Junkanu groups had to offer. Okay. Don't really talk about the parade management itself, but Mr. Producer, you could tell me if I'm right about or wrong about some of these things, but it seemed to me like the when I got out there, obviously the last group hadn't done its first lap yet, 6 o'clock in the morning, and they seemed like they were all over the place. Like the Valley Boys, one of their lead costumes was by Margaritaville when I was walking past, and I think they were trying to put it together with like a forklift and stuff. I was like, what's happening out here? Like, it just looked like chaos when I got there at 6 o'clock in the morning. I don't know if that's normal, but I heard from some of the people who had been out there all night that there were huge lulls between the groups. And they were not too happy about that. I mean, I saw, before one family hit the square, I saw plenty tired and angry faces, but one family woke them up when they came through with everybody shouting warriors, except my daughter. She wasn't having it, but I think she had a good time. So what did you think? What about the Junkanu results? Let's see. Who came second? What did you think about the theme? 1001. Oh, here's the story. There we go. NJC wants to avoid long wait times during the New Year's Day parade. Okay. The National Junkanu Committee acknowledged backlash and concerns regarding the 2025 Boxing Day parade after parade goers complained about extended wait times in between groups. The parade, which began shortly after 9 p.m. on Christmas Day and ended on Boxing Day morning, saw many delays that led to disgruntled patrons voicing frustrations, complaining about boredom, and even leaving before the parade concluded. Immediately following the parade, the NJC released a statement claiming that there were several factors, including route obstructions and readiness issues, that contributed to the time gaps in between performances. The National Junkanu Committee, the statement said the National Junkanu Committee acknowledges concerns raised by patrons and participants regarding delays and gaps experienced during this morning's Boxing Day parade. Initial reviews indicate that parade flow was affected by a combination of factors, including route obstructions, sequencing, and readiness challenges, and isolated incidents requiring law enforcement intervention. These issues occurred at different points along the route and collectively disrupted timing and spacing. The NJC said that it regretted the impact the delays dealt on fan experiences and on the participating groups. The committee confirmed that a full review into the situation is underway as officials prepare for the 2026 New Year's Day parade. The NJC wishes to be clear that no group was authorized to obstruct another, no participant was intentionally disadvantaged, and no single incident defines the operational challenges experienced today, the statement said. A full operational review is underway, including vehicle staging, marshal authority, timing procedures, and coordination protocols, with the aim of implementing immediate corrective measures ahead of the New Year's Day parade. The committee congratulated One Family, the A Division winners of the Boxing Day parade, and Colors Junkanoo Group, the winners of the B Division. So yes, congratulations to Colors as well. Big things are going. So yeah, just like people were saying out there when I arrived, there was, like I said, when I got there, One Family hadn't reached the square, and people were saying we've been waiting all night for family. Like I said, it was 6 o'clock in the morning by the time as I got there, and so they're waiting for these big groups to come through. All night, some of their favorite groups. So they hadn't even seen them for the first time between 9 p.m. and 6 a.m. I think, was it the Valley Boys 1958 hadn't come through? Yeah, they were the last group, right? So, what to do about that? I was listening to a discussion on the radio Saturday, I think it was, or Friday. It was probably Saturday. It's just about Junkanoo in general and the parade, but there was a lot of blame placed on the groups themselves for the delays, and I'm sure that's probably absolutely true. And people on the radio calling them selfish, they're saying they do their own thing and they don't really listen to the marshalling and the rules of the road on the day. They're not fully prepared to, when they get out there, to get on the road. So what do you do? What do you do? I mean, these groups are made up of people who devote their time and their love of Junkanoo to these 2 days, and they tired. They just want to rush. I don't know. Do the pressures? There's so much things that they have to think about. They have to think about the crowd and their fans. They should think about them and help the parade along by doing what they could do. But also, like I said, one group was just trying to get this gigantic costume together with a forklift right outside Margaritaville. And I was like, boy, that's the work right there. You have to respect the costume builders for Junkanoo. Anyway, let's hear what you have to say about it. 323-6232, 325-4316, 325-4259. You can call us toll free from the Family Islands, 1-242-300-5720. What did you think about the parade? Did the best group win? Was it fair? I mean, the points tell a story about One Family being miles ahead. We got some text messages coming in. They're all not calling yet. This person says, Morning Chester, there was an almost, but not limited to 1 hour wait, period, between each group. Ridiculous. And we were in a skybox area. Imagine folks not seated in a comfortable area. We went home because of the lulls. The hosts for the event were working hard, but even their antics could not energize and keep the crowd hyped after these extended wait times. Wow. Yeah. This person says, Farrell, should we treat the management term limit like we do political parties? Keep changing them out until they get it right. This nonsense is unacceptable. It's obvious that it's not that. That's not them. It really is, you could threaten a group with point deductions and whatnot, but if they're not ready to get out there, if they're taking long to gather the people and put the lines together and everybody where they are until time to go is not going to change anything. The groups have to manage themselves and put themselves together and put themselves in a position to get on Bay Street. And if it's their turn to get out there and they're not ready, they're not going. And in some cases, if they in the pipe, they can't get out the way because they got the big costumes in the street already. So dog eat your lunch there, right? This person said, Minnis had it right. Go virtual Junkanoo. Say what now? This person says, good morning, Chester. The B groups are getting the good spots, even the nighttime. Either put them at the back of the parade or give them another day. Also, costumes are too huge and groups are too large. Boy, don't say that out loud. There was good commentary I heard Saturday about the fact about groups being too large, right? And again, this is a labor of love for Junkanoos. And this is communities that come together to form these groups. So how are you going to limit groups to a certain size and tell people they can't be a part of this national parade? I get that. And this person says, maybe the B groups perform one night and the A groups another night. Boy, I know about that. This person says in a text message, I've come to the conclusion that the government, the JC, A, B, C, D, and Junkanoo groups are delusional. I say that lovingly. Literally from New Year's Day 2025. I said next year we'll be talking about route obstruction, unfinished costumes, long gaps, hours of boring scrap groups, and complete boredom. This is reality, hence the delusion of the greatest show on earth. Junkanoo on Bay with current bleachers, narrow streets, last-minute culture is unfixable. Yikes. Yikes. This person says, Junkanoo is like former PM Christie. Okay. I'm going to read that. You'll hate us. Yeah, I don't know. The Junkanoo groups themselves have to figure out or even decide within themselves how they're gonna manage themselves. You could hand out all the deductions in the world for being late to the street and whatnot, but if they're not ready, then they're not ready. And again, you mentioned big costumes. I think the big costumes are great. If they could get down the road, what's wrong with the big costume? The big leads and stuff. But, better group preparation is probably the only thing that's going to get these long lull and wait times to change. Again, ain't nobody paying them to be on the street. This ain't their job. This is a labor of love. and so for them, don't rush me. No pun intended. So, I don't know. What do you say? Anybody have any great ideas on how to fix the Junkanoo parade? I don't want to think that, having to make groups smaller is the way, because no matter how big or small a group is, as long as they back to back to back coming down the road, y'all will be fine. As long as they could get their costumes up the street, despite the size, y'all will be fine. So this text message coming in. The way to fix Junkanoo is clear. The first step is to move it to a purpose-built venue. They can continue an unobstructed historical peoples connected to our ancestors' Rushon Bay. But the modern ticketed bleachers, massive groups need to go elsewhere. Unfortunately, we do not get to test this with the JCNP's Rush at the Stadium or some other venue. That is the way forward. Okay. All right. Well, we got a call coming in. Let's take this call, see what this caller is saying. Good morning, caller. Welcome to Morning Blend. You got a fix for Junkanoo?
Good morning, Chester. Season's greetings.
Season's greetings.
And all the best to the Bahamas going forward. Congratulations to one family, they South End, and I don't know what you were doing on Bay Street. That night. Then we were done with it. I knew we were in trouble. But music selection is very important. Mm-hmm. But Chester, I had made a suggestion. It may sound dumb, but I believe it could work. Junkanoo, I believe Junkanoo should be more than just one day. Be a tourist destination. And those fun groups, we can't have another day for them fun groups to participate elsewhere or down Bay, wherever they want to do it, but have Bay Street, New Year's, Boxing Day and New Year's Day reserved for the major groups and B groups. We need all of that other extracurricular activities for those fun groups. You can't compact all of that in one and expect to don't have the same, a different result, man. I mean, we have outgrown, our population size has increased. We're a tourist destination. Junkanoo is, people pay, a lot of money to come to see this thing, and to be sitting there for an hour waiting just to see one group, that don't make no sense. Why can't we separate it? Have a day for individual costume or whatever you want to do with it, but then have the major parade, which most people come to see and watch, perform on Boxing Day and New Year's Day. I mean, but they're saying that everyone is entitled to be on Bay Street. I don't know what that means, but the bottom line is Junkanoo is now a big business, and it's a part of our tourism culture. And nobody we should have all that chaos. Every year we have the same thing no matter what, because too many people are participating at one time. And you want to do all of this in a few hours? It just can't work. But we need to separate it. Those people need to become visionary leaders. You could make more money, and they was complaining about not having funding. People will pay to watch the other groups participate, the fun groups participate. But when you're talking Boxing Day and New Year's Day, that's the major league. That's the big show. And no way we should have those groups interfering and creating a lot of problems. Let's do it properly. That's what I think.
Okay.
I know the Junkanoo may kill me, but that's what I believe it.
Okay. All right. Thank you for that suggestion. I don't know if that'll work. I mean, Boxing Day and New Year's are tradition. And I don't think it's the fun groups that causing the problems. So let's take this next call. Yeah, nobody there. Let's take this other line. Good morning, caller. Welcome to Morning Blend.
Good morning, Chester.
Morning.
Happy belated Christmas to everybody.
Same to you.
I've been in Junkanoo from at the age of 8, 9. I'm 62 now. Mm-hmm. I'm still involved in Junkanoo. And the only thing, like you say or whatever, somebody said, is that the groups have gotten a bit bigger. Okay? Gaps and stuff like that, sometimes they get it right, sometimes they don't. That's Junkanoo. That is Junkanoo. There's no way the Saxons or the Valley Boys could go right up behind one another with the acoustic. It's going to cause an acoustic problem where the groups would be clashing with the music. You cannot do it. You understand? All you have to do is make up your mind. When you go into Junkanoo, there may be some gaps, there may be some delays. You're dealing with 10,000 people. You understand? I don't know what Bahamians complain about every year. That's Junkanoo. You can imagine to be one of us who's been in the road from 9 years old to 62 years old. Can you imagine?
Yeah. Well, let me ask you about that point you made about acoustic problems. Is that something that's been studied on the road? Like people been out there. Is that something that's been studied on the road? Like people been out there and
how long I tell you I've been rushing? When the groups used to get too close on one another, the music pace, rhythm, or bouncing of the buildings is clash with one another. That's why the A groups, or most of the groups, they allow that group to go all the way up to Rawson Square so it don't be as bad. The music clashing don't be as bad. And the people who talking about bring Junkanoo today and do this one tomorrow, that's impossible too. Because people don't have no money. They scrapping money to get the Christmas on the bleachers and New Year's on the bleachers. And you want them to have money for something else?
Yeah.
Nonsense, man. Don't get used to it. That's Junkanoo. Thanks for taking Grammy Boy, God.
Thanks, Grammy Boy. Take care, man. Boy, I don't know. That acoustic thing, I'm trying to figure it out, and I see where that could be a problem, maybe. But even when I was watching one family come into the square, right, the banner came in, and I couldn't hear any music. So as the free dancers came in the square, I was like, these people dancing to nothing because I can't hear the music. Like I could barely hear their music. You know, and obviously as the choreograph line came into the square, you start to hear the music because the band behind them, you know. But I wasn't hearing music until the choreographed dancers got there. You know, and so if another big group is behind them, I don't know if the music's going to be clashing. Because if I can't hear their music and the group, you know, the front of the group already in the square, I don't know. I'm just saying, you know, how I heard it. Let's take this next call. Yeah, good morning,
Chester,
caller.
good morning.
Hey, morning.
Merry Christmas, belated, and Happy New Year.
And same to you.
As Grammy Boy had indicated, when you're in sound industry, you would understand about acoustics, especially a lot of us who are in sound. You will understand the acoustics of the building. Sometimes the groups being so close. Listen, rhythm and keeping the music syncopated is something that's so important. Could you imagine you in one group, next group come up with their brass and their section and the drums and stuff, and it actually interferes with the rhythm of the other group, throwing them off? That is what music is all about. So I understand the gaps in between the groups. I think by this time, a lot of them should understand the dynamics of what makes Junkanoo, and that is, you know, I would not excuse the man of being late getting out there because, I mean, hey, it's a business. You know, we have to keep things in line. So that's something that even though some people may think it's easy fix, it's not an easy fix. But there is the one thing that I really enjoy. You know, I haven't been downtown to watch Junkanoo in almost 20 years. All right? And that happened because of one time, my personal opinion, the group that I really truly support, the music makers, was cheated one time, and that threw me off when it was so glaring obvious that they were cheated. You know, now coming back to one family, very, very impressive with them. I stood there. In fact, I videoed their entire performance from the time the drums, even before the drums even licked off. It reminds me of the day when the music makers first came to be. And the music was really, really spectacular. My only last point I would like to make is I believe that Junkanoo is a business. I believe that we can capitalize off it by two ways. One, we can get some of the costumes sold to the tourists because, you know, there are some destinations where tourists do get involved in the festivals. Right now, we have not developed it to a point where the guests who comes here, who stand on the sidelines, they gyrate to the music, they love the music, they love the performance and everything. I think it's about time we find some way, you know, to bring about a program, even if it's on another day, close to Junkanoo, even if it's after Junkanoo, to get the guests involved. You know, we can sell the costumes. We can let them buy the off-the-shoulder piece. We can have them buy the headpiece. But this is something that the Junkanooers will have to discuss along with the NJC or the JCMP or whoever is going to spearhead this mission. I think it's about time we move this to another level. Okay, that's all I wanted to suggest here.
Yeah.
Thanks for taking my call this morning, and God bless all.
Thank you. Same to you. I mean, I don't know if the groups need to discuss it with the NJC, right? If each group is a corporation and business in and of itself, if they figure out a model, they could just go with it. But, how is the judging going to be affected by, people who just buy a costume and, they could always sell costumes. That's not a big deal if that's something they decide they want to do. But, they spend half a year or more pasting their own costumes. Who's building costumes for sale, right? And if the costume was on the street, do they rush with it? It get a little beat up on the road, then they got to go fix it. It's another. Again, if they have a sale for it, then great. I would love to have gotten some of those costumes. I ain't gonna know where to put them though, but they were great. Let's take some more calls. Good morning, caller. Welcome to Morning Blend.
Good morning, Chester. I hope all is well with you.
Everything good. How you doing?
I'm always great, I listen to my good brother, Granny Boy, Stopper Johnson. He made some good points. For me, who's watching for all these years, I didn't go to Bay Street again this year. There's a reason why, because we have a lot of weak men and women in Jungle who think they know everything and they don't know nothing. When I used to carry my costumes to Bay Street, we know they pull in Shade Street smaller and Bay Street smaller with the bleachers. I tell my good friend Jim Brown, I say, Jim Brown, you'll never win a best costume, no. Because you can place and do weight. I say, you will get disqualified. I take my engineering team down the Bay Street, I measure the road, I measure the height with all the lightning. I measure Shady Street. For years, I tell all my competitors, don't let the costume be no wider than 15 feet, 12 feet, 15 by 12. The costume will be lighter, it'll be manageable to carry. But the competition is killing Jungle. And Jungle is a business now. When I do Jungle, I spend over $10 million of my money Jungle, People say, JTV spend $10 million. Oh, all them years, man, all the money spent. I'm the first man in history, Jungle was fridge and stove and shack. People used to eat properly. We used to go on the beach and swim, exercise, eat healthy. But a lot of people around Jungle, they lie and think they just think that they ain't no number of Jungle. And like I said before, my friends told me that they've been Jungle, say that was the worst in the history of the Bahamas. We're going. They didn't get waste.
Wow.
Because as long as the politicians keep fooling with our things, Jungle is the only thing keeping us together, Not the church, not the judiciary, not the police force. Look at how our country running. The only thing so we get us kind of get it is the Jungle. We don't argue politics, we don't argue. We're going to compete, bragging rights. What else we getting? The government give me some land, they didn't give me $1. But everybody they taught nothing. Bahamas government will give me people nothing, man. All they give us is taxes. All they see in this country, foreigners wicked, foreigners getting everything, foreigners this, foreigners that, foreigners dumb and stupid. But I can tell you all, I know why I'm person. I love God, I love the Bahamas, I love Bahamians. Me and my brothers and my sons and some people on the streets, our eyes wide open. We can have to protect ourselves. Since the COP ain't doing a job, since the man of France wasn't doing a job, but we got to fix this country. And all my young people there, you all got to keep trying, man. Keep trying. Be faithful. Sometimes get cut down in numbers of the group, man. Some people go New Year, some people go Boxing Day, man. That's all I can say. And thanks for taking my call, my brother.
Thank you. Appreciate it. Our producer is saying, yeah, that one makes sense. Let everybody rush, but break up the size of the group between Boxing Day and New Year's. Interesting. I didn't think about that one. But then when more people join, welcome Deandra Cartwright. Merry Christmas and Happy New Year to you.
Happy Boxing Day and all those good stuff.
Yeah.
I just wonder if we were to do that split, could we guarantee that there would be a fair, equal split? Because we know some groups will have more of a subscription, a more powerful subscription than others. So I don't know. But if we do actually have numbers, maybe that could be another part of the ticket selling process, which I want to talk about. But we got a caller, so when we can, because I had an interesting experience and I have questions.
Oh, boy. Let's take this call in, yeah. Good morning, caller. Welcome to Morning Blend.
Good morning.
Good morning.
Greetings.
Same to you.
Yeah. Yeah, I share the same sentiment of the gentleman who called earlier about taking Junkanoo to another level, which means that Junkanoo can be formed by Bahamians, maybe a new organization, even out of the hands of the government, taking it to a really different level and selling costumes even around the world. I think we need to move up now. I experienced Junkanoo. I went to Junkanoo Boxing Day, and that was the worst attendance I've ever seen, especially on the Shirley Street side. I don't know what happened. Persons really didn't come out at all. I could walk down Shirley Street side, and even up from 12 to like 5, 6 o'clock a.m. in the morning. It was, I don't know, it was poorly attended. The regular gaps and all that stuff, they got to try and work that out. Same issues. Seating, same problem. They say open seating. So that wasn't really organized. And then they ran out of the bands again. Same issue. You have to wait for the bands. I told the lady I'm going to wait for no band. I'm here. I know my seat is. You already see that I have my seat assignment, although they didn't have any. But it has to go to another level, and I think we need now to move away from this, even funding from government. It needs to be a new organization, investors, Bahamian, maybe Junkanoo come together and form their own company to take it to the next level. But it was poorly attended, So Junkanoos, let's see if we can take this to another level. Thank you.
Thank you. Appreciate it. All right, let's sneak this next call in here before we got to take a break. Good morning, caller. Welcome to Morning Blend.
Yes, good morning to both of you in the studio and to the Wild Bahamas.
Morning.
Just a couple of points, right? I think JJ began to touch on it. You can't manage what you can't measure, and you can't measure what you refuse to acknowledge, and that's the problem with Junkanoo. I know for 20 years I've been home. I've made this argument concerning, believe it or not, the digitization of Junkanoo that we now still beginning to talk about. But when you talk about money, the Junkanoo, the problem with the money aspect of Junkanoo is that the mindset, the leadership of Junkanoo is been very aligned with much of our leadership stuck in the 20th century, even though we are about 2 days away from the second quarter of the 21st century in the methodology and things they do. We have failed to recognize Junkanoo as a cultural and heritage asset, natural resources that we so often talk about. And when you look from UNESCO's point of view, Junkanoo should be able to be quantified of adding at least $250 million a year to our GDP when you look at the complete integration into the travel, tourism, and hospitality industry. But we don't talk about that. We talk about the role of begging every single year for sponsorship to get it out there. But when you look and combine it from a cultural and heritage festival type committee environment, you add Junkanoo and Gumbe and Rake and Scrape and Bagada and all of these different things. We've yet to organize ourselves, even though we've been in the business, 60, 70, maybe almost 100 years of tourism, travel, and hospitality. There is no strategy nowhere that you can find and read and understand, no gap analysis of where we are, where we need to be, any of these different things. You also talk about, say, for instance, the sound. Same thing. Measure the sound, measure the information, measure the costumes, measure the crowd. All of these are data points that we can begin to use to make a decision. You talk about judging. Judging can be from individual costume, at the same time, the same judging aspect that you take for judging the costume. Let's say you see those things that people sit on a kind of a stage and they go around in a circle, a camera go around them. You could put a track around a Junkanoo costume and put a camera on it, and it could document it from all the different views. And not only can you judge it and have it and see it in advance, it become kind of like a digital NFT type thing of environment for those for things to see. These are not things that I'm bringing up. These are things that's been in use for 25 years around the world. From broadcasting of it, we watch parades and other different things. What we have is we have a multiplexity of news people out there, each bringing its own perspective, when you could have a synchronized view for which they can plug into and all have, things. It's like so much we can do, and it doesn't require a lot. It requires an awareness of where we live in the world from digitization, and the world is accelerating. Now you have AI, all of these different things. But it seems as if, though, in this cave, we want to continue to discuss the shadows on the wall as opposed to looking outside to the colors of the sun. Thank you so much.
Thank you. Appreciate it. On that note, let's go to our break, and Morning Blend will return right on the other side.
Wake up, it's a new day. It's the start of a new way. Don't you know that it's the start of the end of the old way? Wake up, it's a new day. Wake up, it's a new day.
This is Guardian Radio 96.9 FM, streaming on GuardianTalkRadio.com and the Guardian Radio app, Nassau, Bahamas.
It's time for your morning blend traffic alert brought to you by RBC Royal Bank and NUA Insurance Agents and Brokers. With RBC, reaching your goals happens here. Look at traffic now. Not much traffic to talk about on Somalawatla Highway. It's moving. There's some cars starting to line up. Same thing on Glasson Road. Even though there are some pockets of traffic. There is traffic, though, at the hill as you start to get closer to John F. Kennedy Drive. Traffic building up at the Saunders Beach roundabout now. Oh, it's still moving. We've got traffic building at the intersection of Carmichael Road and Blue Hill Road. Traffic starting to come over the hill there as you reach Tonic Williams Darling Highway on Blue Hill Road. Then you got building traffic on East Street South, northbound, as you approach the East-West Highway in Independence Drive. Those are your hot spots at the moment. Still that holiday traffic. This segment of Morning Blend brought to you by RBC. With RBC, your ideas happen here. And NUA Insurance Agents and Brokers. Whether you prefer a face-to-face chat or handling things online, we've got you covered. Visit nuainsurance.com for an instant motor quote or stop by your nearest branch today. Time again for a look at this morning's weather. No warnings in effect at this time, but your general situation as remnant troughing linked to a frontal boundary east of the island chain drifts eastward today. Isolated showers are expected across the central and southeast Bahamas. Elsewhere, weak ridging and mostly stable conditions will persist ahead of a prefrontal trough and associated cold front. Forecast to move into the northern Bahamas overnight, triggering showers along its boundary. The cold front will continue southeastward along the island chain through the work week and stall near the southeast Bahamas by Friday. In its wake, cooler temperatures and high pressure will settle in, returning dry and mostly stable weather with gentle to moderate breezes. There is a slight to moderate risk of rip currents impacting Atlantic shorelines. Beachgoers should exercise caution and swimmers are advised to not venture far from the shore in these areas. Your outlook for the northern Bahamas: weather partly sunny to sunny, becoming fair tonight. A 10% chance of a brief passing shower or two. Winds light and variable this morning, becoming westerly at 10 knots this afternoon and increasing 10 to 15 knots by this evening. Your high temperature 81 degrees Fahrenheit, your low 68 degrees Fahrenheit. For the northwest Bahamas, weather partly sunny to sunny, becoming fair tonight. Less than a 10% chance of a brief passing shower. Winds light and variable, becoming west to northwest at 10 knots or less this afternoon. Your high temperature 82 degrees Fahrenheit, your low 68 degrees Fahrenheit. For the central Bahamas, a mix of sun and clouds today, becoming mostly fair tonight. A 10 to 20% chance of showers. Winds light and variable, becoming northerly at less than 10 knots by this evening. Your high temperature 82 degrees Fahrenheit, your low 73 degrees Fahrenheit. And for the southeast Bahamas, a mix of sun and clouds today, becoming mostly fair tonight. A 10 to 30% chance of showers. Wind southeasterly at 10 knots or less, shifting easterly at less than 10 knots by this evening. Your high temperature 82 degrees Fahrenheit, your low 73 degrees Fahrenheit. And we'll have an extended forecast for you after the 8 o'clock hour.
What's on your wish list this year?
A family staycation.
A shopping spree.
Surprise me. Tis the season of surprises. You could win a tech bundle, family staycation, US $1,000 cashback, or US $500 Amazon voucher. Simply use your CIBC Caribbean Visa credit card or Visa debit card for a minimum spend of US $100 or more. Learn more at www.cibccaribbean.com. Terms and conditions apply.
This is Guardian Radio 96.9 FM, streaming on GuardianTalkRadio.com and the Guardian Radio app, Nassau, Bahamas.
And now at 8:18, it's time for your final look at today's weather, brought to you by Sherwin-Williams Paints. There are no warnings in effect at this time, but your general situation as remnant troughing linked to a frontal boundary east of the island chain drifts eastward today. Isolated showers are expected across the central and southeast Bahamas. Elsewhere, weak ridging and mostly stable conditions will persist ahead of a prefrontal trough and associated cold front, forecast to move into the northern Bahamas overnight, triggering showers along its boundary. The cold front will continue southeastward across the island chain through the work week and stall near the southeast Bahamas by Friday. In its wake, cooler temperatures and high pressure will settle in, returning dry and mostly stable weather with gentle to moderate breezes. There is a slight to moderate risk of rip currents impacting Atlantic shorelines. Beachgoers should exercise caution and swimmers are advised to not venture far from the shore in these areas. For the northern Bahamas, weather partly sunny to sunny, becoming fair tonight. A 10% chance of a brief passing shower or two. Winds light and variable this morning, becoming westerly at 10 knots this afternoon and increasing to 10 to 15 knots by this evening. Your high temperature 81 degrees Fahrenheit, your low 68 degrees Fahrenheit. For the northwest Bahamas, weather partly sunny to sunny, becoming fair tonight. A less than a 10% chance of a brief passing shower. Winds light and variable, becoming west to northwest at 10 knots or less this afternoon. Your high temperature 82 degrees Fahrenheit, your low 68 degrees Fahrenheit. For the central Bahamas, a mix of sun and clouds today, becoming mostly fair tonight. A 10 to 20% chance of showers. Winds light and variable, becoming northerly at less than 10 knots by this evening. Your high temperature 82 degrees Fahrenheit, your low 73 degrees Fahrenheit. For the southeast Bahamas, a mix of sun and clouds today, becoming mostly fair tonight. A 10 to 30% chance of showers. Wind southeasterly at 10 knots or less, shifting easterly at less than 10 knots by this evening. Your high temperature 82 degrees Fahrenheit, your low 73 degrees Fahrenheit. In your extended forecast for tomorrow, weather partly cloudy for the northern Bahamas to cloudy with occasional overcast periods. For the northwest Bahamas, partly sunny during the morning, becoming partly cloudy to cloudy by afternoon. And for the central and southeast Bahamas, a mix of sun and clouds. For the northern and northwest Bahamas, a 20 to 30% chance of showers, mainly along the frontal boundary. For the central and southeast Bahamas, a 10 to 20% chance of showers. Winds northern and northwest for the northern and northwest Bahamas, west to northwest at 10 to 15 knots. Winds for the central and southeast Bahamas, east to southeast at 10 knots or less, becoming variable at less than 10 knots Tuesday evening. The high temperature outlook, 84 degrees Fahrenheit, the low 72 degrees Fahrenheit. And the outlook for Wednesday, New Year's Eve, for the northern Bahamas, partly sunny, becoming mostly fair at night. Partly cloudy during the morning hours, becoming partly sunny by the late afternoon. For the central and southeast Bahamas, partly cloudy to cloudy. For the northern Bahamas, a 10% chance of showers. For the northwest Bahamas, 10 to 20% chance of showers, decreasing to 10% by midday. For the central Bahamas, 10 to 30% chance of showers. And for the southeast Bahamas, a 10 to 20% chance. Winds north for the northern and northwest Bahamas, northerly at 10 to 15 knots. For the central Bahamas, winds northerly at 10 knots with higher gusts. And for the southeast Bahamas, winds light and variable. Temperature outlook 82 degrees Fahrenheit, your low 68 degrees Fahrenheit. That's your final look at today's weather, brought to you by Sherwin-Williams. Ready to refresh your space? Head to your local Sherwin-Williams for premium paint, pro tips, and everyday deals that make it easy to get started. And time for your final look at traffic. Brought to you by RBC Royal Bank and NUA Insurance Agents and Brokers. This segment, Morning Brand, brought to you by RBC. With RBC, your goals happen here. Things looking much the same on Blue Hill Road and Carmichael Road as you approach the intersection there. Still some traffic, but not as bad as it could be on a morning that's not between Christmas and New Year's. On some Alabama Highway, traffic's still looking great for you there if you're on that road. You are doing good. Traffic on Carmichael Road, only on the hill there right now. It's a little slow there as you approach JFK Drive. Some traffic starting to build up there on JFK Drive westbound as you approach Ladson Road, so exercise some patience there. Some traffic on East Street, building up there in the northbound lane as you approach Independence Drive and East-West Highway. But not much to talk about. Those are really the tough spots at the moment. That segment brought to you by RBC. With RBC, your ideas happen here, and brought to you by NUA Insurance Agents and Brokers. Get a quote however it suits you. Stop by your nearest branch or get an instant motor quote online at nuainsurance.com. Quick questions or big decisions, we've got you covered.
As an athlete, I've learned that success isn't built on extras. It's built on the essentials. Strength, discipline, smart choices. That's why I'm proud to partner with Bahama Health to introduce Essential 300, a comprehensive health insurance plan that's all about covering what truly matters. Essential 300 is Bahama Health's most affordable major medical plan for groups and individuals. It offers access to a specialized network of care with essential benefits like preventative services, because real strength starts with staying healthy. You may not be training for a race, but everyone deserves strong and affordable coverage with Essential 300. With Bahama Health, you can feel good about your health plan and protect what truly matters, your health.
For more information, call 396-1350 or visit www.bahamahealth.com.
This New Year's Eve, Bahama invites you to experience a night where luxury meets pure island energy. A night designed for those who want to welcome 2026 in unforgettable style. On Tuesday, December 31st, the party ignites on the shores of Cable Beach with dazzling entertainment, premium open bars, gourmet food experiences, and a midnight fireworks spectacular lighting up the sky. And headlining the celebration, one of the biggest names in global music, Grammy Award-winning superstar star Sean Paul live at Bahamar, bringing an explosive performance that will carry you into the new year with non-stop vibes. Indulge in the taste of Bahamar Culinary Showcase, dance under the stars, and immerse yourself in the ultimate New Year's experience, all at the Caribbean's leading luxury resort destination. Make this your most iconic New Year's Eve yet. Secure your tickets now at bahamar.com/events. Bahamar, life spectacular.
Mommy, are you writing to Santa too?
You have Santa. I have CIBC Caribbean.
CIBC has sweetened the season so you can bring your holiday dreams to life and wrap a new home or land with incredible cashback deals. Plus, your approved loan gives you a chance to win up to US $5,000. Apply now at www.cibccaribbean.com/sweeten the season. Terms and conditions apply.
Here's a sure-winning art store moment from Shelley and Dee Dee.
We're the only full art store in the Bahamas. If we don't have it, we make a list, and trust me, our boss can get that. If you need that, he can get that. You can find sketchbooks, acrylics, the canvases in all sizes, stencils. We have the Angelus that they use on shoes and letters. We're the only persons in Nassau that carries the Montana spray. We have the Krylon sprays, watercolor and paints, the oil, chalk paints, the alcohol paint, metallic paints, the little Floetrol, and we have cleaning products for the artists, thinning products for the artists, and Crayola colors, and glitters, pencils, the Posca markers, and pastels, oil, and the acrylic pastels, dyes. Oh yeah, we also have airbrush paint. I had to forget that part of the movie. Gift sets, hobby craft,
Oil shrimp,
glaze.
stew shrimp, shrimp gumbo. But art supplies. We have a lot of them. Sherwin-Williams Art Store. Find colour in every day.
Are you searching for something new? Something exciting? Your dream job in paradise? Well, look no further. Royal Beach Club Paradise Island is hiring. Join a dynamic group of passionate hospitality professionals, craft unforgettable moments, and thrive in a vibrant, welcoming atmosphere. Play your part in shaping the future of our team while growing your own career every day. Bring your energy, your passion, and your creativity to a workplace that's as dynamic and fun as you are. At Royal Beach Club Paradise Island, the opportunities don't just exist. They're limitless. So are you ready to find your perfect fit? Visit Royal Beach Club at paradiseisland.com/career today and step into a world of exciting possibilities.
In the world of business, technology is not a choice, it's a necessity. And for businesses that demand excellence, there's only one choice for unparalleled support and cutting-edge technology. Custom Computers. You have challenges and we have solutions. Computing, networking, storage, and printing for enterprises large and small, aligned with premium brands like HP, Microsoft, Konica Minolta, and more. Get tech done the right way with Custom Computers. Call the Know-How team at 396-1101.
No one likes a fender bender.
Oh, man.
From a little scratch to a full mashup, NUA Insurance has got you covered with auto insurance tailored to fit your needs and budget. For affordable rates with free on-site accident assistance, visit us online or in branch and just ask us. NUA Insurance. Ask us because we've got you covered.
Looking for insurance that fits your lifestyle and your budget? At Star General Insurance, we've got you covered. Whether it's motor insurance with flexible options for third-party liability and comprehensive coverage, or commercial insurance products that protect your business, we have choices you can afford. Own a home or renting? Our home insurance products have just what you need. And for the adventurers out there, we offer marine insurance too. Visit our website or social media pages for contact information and quotes. Star General, insurance made simple.
Southwest Plaza has so many stores, I've been trying to find a sensible way to list them all. There's CBS Bahamas, the Ashai Institute, BENC Snack World, Bamboo Shack Bahamas, there, the Athlete's Foot and BTC, Games and More, John Bull Fine Threads, Alive, Bahari, Dairy Queen, 700 Wines and Spirits, Sandy's Clarkson Island Lock, Starbucks and Lowe's Pharmacy, plus Marco's Pizza and Lorraine. Southwest Plaza, what a wide array of stores. Southwest Plaza, stop by today and explore.
This is Guardian Radio, 96.9 FM. Streaming on GuardianTalkRadio.com and the Guardian Radio app. Nassau, Bahamas.
Welcome back to Morning Blend here on Guardian Radio 96.9. I'm Chester Robards, holding it down for Dwight Strachan here with Deandra Cartwright. And we've been talking about Junkanoo, trying to solve Joel Junkanoo's problems this morning.
We're not miracle workers, Chester. We are not miracle
By
workers.
ourselves. Solve all the Junkanoo's
We
problems.
could suggest.
Yeah.
We could ask questions. Like, I have a question I need to ask.
Please ask the question.
Okay, cool. Great. I want to know why I was almost ejected from the seats that I paid for. That's what I want to know. Ejected. Yes, ejected, meaning somebody was telling me I had to move out of my seats. Mind you, I'm sitting down there. I paid for 3 seats, right? So I should have 3 spots. I'm with my nephew. He goes to use the bathroom. This group of young girls comes in and just sits. And I'm like, what is going on? And the group in the front of me, they're telling them, no, our folks just went to the bathroom. You can't sit here. And they're like, no, these are our seats. We were here. This is where we're sitting. I'm like, no. And I think most people know that my Long Island blood run a little hot sometimes. So I just have to catch myself before I react, especially inside a very populated area with a clear age gap. So I was just trying to figure out if it was youthful ignorance or youthful arrogance. I couldn't tell. And the young girl proceeded to ignore me and said she's not moving out of the seats. Then when I said, well, I have a child who's coming, and then the girl next to her said, well, I'm a child and I should be, I was like, okay, this isn't going to work, right? And then my nephew finally arrives and he was like, what's going on? Y'all are in my seat, right? Then the young girl tells me, Miss, this Junkanoo, this how this is go. This is how it always goes. You just sit wherever. I was like, what do you mean? What do you mean sit wherever? Now, I wasn't in the section for Rawson or Parliament. I don't like the feeling of those bleachers. They move a little bit too much for my liking.
They're too jiggly.
Yeah, listen, I'd be scared every time I go on those, so I refuse to go on those. So I go in Section M, which only has 5 rows. And I purposely buy the tickets that are closest to the end, so I am by right. So I have support and everything like that. Because when you start rocking in them bleachers, it's fun, but I won't get through. This gal telling me, say, this Junkanoo, you sit wherever. Now, I know how it was inside the bigger set because I heard all the callers saying that, the seats weren't marked or whatnot. Section M had the numbers at the front.
Oh, they did?
They did. That's how I knew where I was going.
Right.
So row 5 is literally the very last row.
Right.
And so I think it was at 54, 55, 56.
Right.
I knew that those were my seats. Then I saw that this young girl had on a different band than I did. Then I remember when I was walking in, there was a group of persons who didn't have a band or anything like that were permitted to go in. Then there was a call made by one of the persons working the gate saying that they're letting in more of these folks and this is going to be a problem. I'm like, what type of problem? What are we talking about? But I'm like, anyway, once I got my seats, I should be straight.
Right.
Then when it happens, when one of these persons who had a different type of band took my seat, I was like, I need to understand this a bit more. The lady on the side of me, I'm telling her, because she's seeing the situation and she's saying, this shouldn't be happening. That's their seats, blah, blah, blah. She has on the same band. I was like, okay, she's sensible. Let me ask a question. Miss, where did you get your band from? Because I mean, I don't know. Like, I have a different colored band from you.
Right.
I just want to know. She's like, oh, that guy right there gave it to me. Oh, who is he? Oh, he works with the ministry. Oh, so yeah, a couple of us, we get tickets. And I said, okay, so then where did I tell you to sit? Oh, just generally in this section. So y'all don't have assigned seating for the free bands y'all be giving out. And then y'all have these persons taking the seats of the persons or trying to take the seats because the girl eventually moved. I a little stubborn when I ready, right? You have these persons thinking that they can sit anywhere. I mean, if you're getting something for free, at least tell the people you can't sit here, there, or wherever.
Right.
But when you have persons receiving free bands trying to take the seats of those who paid for those, which is another reason why I don't like sitting inside Rawson and Parliament, because it also happened there too, because if you notice all of the fold-down chairs, that's usually for invited guests and all that good stuff. And they usually invite too many people. This is from my own personal experience. I've seen it. I've experienced it. And I don't know who could tell me that I'm wrong, but this is what I've seen and I've experienced. Where there will be overflow from those seats
and they go in the bleachers.
They go into the bleachers. And then trying to ask persons to move, because I've also seen this happen. People will become very belligerent because, I was invited by so-and-so. I need to be here. Who are you? Blah, 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 blah. And I was like, it's just a huge turnoff. Then this year when I went to go and buy the tickets, because I insist, even though I've been invited, I want to get my own tickets to have my own seat. I don't want to be involved in all of those things, right? Do you know how many seats were marked off as ineligible for purchase? Like, I just want to know. I want to know, what are the financial margins? Like, what was the intended projection for return on investment? Like, how much money did y'all actually make? Because literally, and I wish I had screenshots to show, there were so many seats that said ineligible for purchase on the app that you couldn't get those. And I remember a couple of years ago when I was trying to get tickets when they first started doing this here, at least to my knowledge, because this is only my third Christmas back home. The people said, fourth. Anyway, the people was like, yeah, they have instructions that certain seats cannot be sold.
Right.
And this year there seems to be more seats that could not be sold. And when you have groups of people inside the section where I was sitting who have on different bands, I was like, but how do we expect, we call it a business, but how do we expect it to make money? And then it's also about the approach and the mindset of these folks. And this coming from somebody who used to stand up on Shirley Street to watch John Canoe.
Right.
I only just started doing the bleacher thing when I got in a little chest, so I gotta
exactly.
I need to sit down, and you could try to take your little seat on the shirt. That don't wait.
Nope.
But so I just have a question. Like I want to know, how does that work? And I wonder if any other person may have experienced this, because that was a group of 3, and then there was another group of 7, then there was another group of 5. I'm just counting like if the minimum cost of a ticket is $45, you just lost out on $450 from 10 people. But then what are the qualifications for free tickets? Because I also want to know, man, because New Year's right around the corner. I ain't gonna go, but still, it's the thought that counts.
Yeah. But I mean, like you mentioned, what's the point of having a ticket with a section and seat number and all this stuff, and then telling people with free or different color bands, just go sit anywhere.
This is I couldn't
and
get.
Then you got to go row.
I couldn't get around that. Like I couldn't. But then I realized again. I'm so grateful for the lady because she was an older lady sitting on the side of me. For her to explain it, and then I was like, oh, so some of the people with the manila envelopes, that's just not judging materials. They have bands to give out to their folks. And then I remembered right across from the M section that's on the Cabinet Office parking side, across from there, so by the street side where they have the salon, whatever, and the jewelry store, I believe that's also free seating. I'm pretty sure, if I remember correctly, that's free seating for the ministry's persons. And then when it was happening, I was like, well, I see my good friend acting permanent secretary over there. I need to go across the street to go talk to him. And then you couldn't find nobody who was actually dealing with the section.
Yeah.
They enjoying Junkanoo. That's great for them. But like, I got a situation here.
Yeah. All right. Let's read some of these text messages. I'm sorry that happened to you. Let's read some of these. Maybe they got solutions. This person says, another thing, there's to be oversight on the process of the group throughout the year to ensure completeness, quality, and adherence to standard. It is either a business or it's whatever we get. Choose one. More than likely, someone in the PM's office will hear the ideas given this morning, make a grand announcement about their idea, and then completely screw it up by putting their boy or sweetheart in charge. Okay.
Oh, gosh. You know, it's funny because it's true, possibly. It's plausible not to say it's actually going to happen.
What is this? Oh, this person sent all kind of... Well, how much text message you sent? Okay.
Doesn't they want to join the conversation, Chester? Are you... Listen, read the people text.
That was the last text I read. I read it out of sequence then.
Oh.
This person says, the way to fix Junkanoo is clear. The first step is to move it to a... Oh, wait. No, I read that one. Okay, I read that one. As to the joke of the JNC, it was clear it was a farce. How can you come in November and claim you have all problems solved? It was literally worse than ever. The fantasy of a Junkanoo festival had to be scrapped because guess what? Junkanoo was in the shack around the clock after work, getting ready for Boxing Day, and here comes a Junkanoo telling us this is how it's supposed to be. A Junkanooer. Oh, ha! Good one. Now I get it. This how it's supposed to be. Around the world, there are multi-group bands, parades. This is nonsense. If you went to Junkanoo and experienced a pre-show followed by a rush by a group as well as presented as one family all by itself, would you have considered that a success? I believe so. It's clear to me that neither the leadership of Junkanoo nor government-appointed yes men are sufficient to manage Junkanoo. They are an independent team skilled in putting on large entertainment shows and management. Again, Bay Street is not suited to the modern-day parade. Okay, that's the person who wants to see a purpose-built Junkanoo facility that we have to go to watch Junkanoo.
By itself?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. This person says, morning, that's why I don't go to Junkanoo, because many things in the Bahamas, there is simply not discipline or properly organized. The last texter was right. It's unfixable. Oh, I wouldn't say that. Junkanoo, like the busing system, like freedom of information, will never be fixed. Wow. Y'all.
Listen, I can need y'all to find some hope. Let's find some hope, people.
This person says, from 9 to the 62, therein lies the problem. Dinosaur thinking in the 21st century. Interesting. Good morning. Last Junkanoo season, we got it right under the JNC. Last Junkanoo season? Huh? I don't know.
I think it's about the lags
they
in
must,
between.
They must miss the PA. Or,
I don't know.
This person says, Grammy Boy talking foolishness.
What?
After one family passed, Genesis, and 1958 came back to back with no issues. After one family passed, then it was Genesis. Now, I left after one family, so... What? Let me figure this out, because I left after one family, and when I got home, by the time I got home, I turned the TV on, and Genesis was on Bay Street. So the time it took me to get home, which wasn't that long, but I had to walk to my car, too.
Right.
I know. I don't know. I think it's too long, but anyway... It's just the management of the parade and the Junkanoo groups need to realize having a world-class event requires them to be on time. No one wants to wait hours. The parade started at 9 p.m. and 1 a.m. 4 hours later, 2 groups had passed. Ridiculous. Yeah, that makes sense. As president of the Chester, I doubt that caller spent millions on Junkanoo. Secondly, he said the government doesn't give them nothing, only taxes, which is a lie because the government gives each group seed money. Okay. We are hamsters on the wheel for years. With any number of issues events. When postmortems are done, the challenges are talked about and suggestions are given as to how to make things better, but very little is done and the challenges remain. It's madness. This person says, did I read this? No. The groups have grown. The assembly of that many members can't be contained in the confined area for lineup and performance. Bay Street is ideal, but the perfect venue because of the tunnel-type scenario of the buildings. A suggestion is an extension of the lineup to Arawaki into Bay for the first lap. Yeah. This would help with the delay simply because everyone would be in place and the flow continues. Or even reverse the route to accommodate a more controlled lineup. Commence at the new bridge west on to downtown Bay Street, reverse to Shirley Street back to the bridge. I think the fundamental issue is the lineup and organizing the performers for the showdown. Yeah. I have been chased out of my paid seats at Junkanoo too, and that's why I'm not ever going back to Junkanoo.
So it's not just me. It is not just me. My flowers were gasted.
I'm sure they were. This person says, good morning and thanks for this timely topic. Deandra, what you experience at Junkanoo is what people in this country on a daily basis when politicians play a major role. It's even worse under this administration with the chaos in Junkanoo to the harassment of fans. This government sparks embarrassment to the highest. Speak loud, Bahamian, on truth. These people even messed up the sponsors of Junkanoo. I can't read them last two words.
No, I can't. Hey, no, we ain't get sued.
Right, exactly. Let's take some of these calls, and then I'll read the rest of the text messages.
I just want to tell that Dexter right there. I promise you, if you know me good, I used to work in government for 10 years. So I know. I still see it. Trust me. Yeah. Every day.
Good morning, caller. Welcome to Morning Blend. Caller, you there?
Hello.
Hey, good morning.
Hey, good morning, Chester, and Miss Cartwright.
Yeah.
Yes.
Good morning to you guys. Yeah, I experienced my son 21 now, almost 22. Last time we've been to Junkanoo, he was 7. Right, and the same experience with you guys talking about. Right, I normally used to like to go right to Roston Square. So, but what I realized way back then, what has happened, what was happening, and still is, too much free passes that overrides the payment of purchasing of a ticket, right?
Yeah.
You have the politicians, they just get, I know this for a fact, every ministry just get free, what you call it, right? And then the politicians pass them down to their favorite supporters or what you call it, right? This ain't that, this been happening. And maybe if these people have to pay for these free passes, right? I mean, like the politicians, right? Then they can stop inviting them people. But because they get the tickets them free, and they don't really care about what happened, because it ain't their responsibility after the person them get the ticket. That now becomes the Junkanoo the Junkanoo leaders. I mean, the one who's responsible for the running of the situation, right? That becomes their headache. So we have to. I believe they need to stop giving away all of these free. It goes straight around government to all of the heads and all this. Everybody who names on that list of being somebody, they get free up to 5 to 10 free passes just to distribute to their family, friends, and lovers. And we need to break that, because if I have to pay for my ticket to watch the same event that you paying, what you getting for free, man, something got to be wrong with that. Now, if everybody getting it for free, then let everybody get it for free. But if I paying on this bleacher, I'm paying to sit on this bleacher, and you sitting on this bleacher for free, that's why we can always have problems. Because it just can't work that way. You guys have a nice day.
Yeah, thank you. Yep. Let's take this next call. Yeah. Good morning, caller. Welcome to Morning Blend. Caller, you there? All right. No, let's get back to the text messages. This person says, good morning. You can't blame the management team if people choose to sit in someone else's seat. It's our people that choose not to follow rules. Well,
so the persons they have working in sections, what are they there to do? Direct you to the seat, or not to help me find the seat, or not to help me police the seat? I'm confused.
So there's that. And then, when you give me a free band, do you tell me what I'm supposed to do?
Right.
Or you just set me loose in
no, but that's literally what happened. They were set loose.
Right.
Like they were told to just find a seat in this section.
Yeah.
Not this row, this seat.
Right.
But this section.
Yeah.
And that's why the entitlement
Mhm.
then poured over into, well, I could
Correct.
sit anywhere I want.
Correct.
No, you can't. I chose those seats specifically.
Yeah.
I always choose those seats specifically.
And you have a ticket with a number and stuff on it.
The thing is I had 3, so I had an extra one, right? So it was like, I know for sure. That's why when the other young girl, she was like, well, I'm a young person. I also need a seat. I literally said, your seat is not of my concern because that's not the one that I paid for.
Yeah.
This space, and this space are paid for.
Yeah.
I was like, oh my gosh. Like, I don't get it. I really don't.
What a time.
I couldn't even signal to one of the persons that were managing it. But see, they already knew what was happening. Like I said, on the entry when I was coming, they were also already complaining because one of them was on the phone to their supervisor or whatnot, saying that more of the, quote, their words, not mine, these persons are coming in and this is going to be a problem.
Yeah.
So they were aware of it.
Yeah.
My thing is, one, how y'all could let something like that happen? Because if I paid for the seat, how you letting somebody who ain't paid for the seat come now?
Yeah.
So, I mean, already we got to pay for Junkanoo. It's a cultural expression. I don't understand this, but I get it, right? So I just need to know, like, how could you let that happen?
Right.
Without sensitizing the person that you're giving a free ticket to. That, hey, this is a free ticket. There are paid seats. Just sit in these spaces that are unaccounted for, which if you have the map by the ticket sellers, you could tell which ones may have been empty.
Yeah.
If they were in fact empty. And then second of all, how do I get on the list for a free ticket? But also just want to say, if that's how y'all acting, but I can't show up there, y'all see, but you can roll out so quick. No,
Yeah.
can't do that. This is after the woman, the gal tried to talk to me about this is Junkanoo and this what Bahamians stomachs do. I was like, Miss, I Bahamian, you know.
So, no, go get your friends, lovers, countrymen. When you're giving out free things, buy into a skybox. How about that? Stop sending them to the nice bleachers
But
where
that's what
people
some
buying
of them
tickets.
do. But see that the skybox, I think. So what was it? That was one was to the left. I think Alive had one behind
I'm
us
just
in M
saying,
section.
Buy
was-
into the people them skybox.
Right, that's what I'm saying. But they would sit it down inside their free seats, which are like 6 or 7 rows. Do we understand 6 or 7 rows of free seating? Do you know how much money that could potentially represent? And yes, if you working hard in government or whatnot like that, you govern in the country, and this is one of the perks of being in that space. Completely, I get you. I understand. But you think you got to take the seats in the bleachers too?
All right, let's take a call. This call coming in. Good morning, caller. Welcome to Morning Blend.
Hello, good morning.
Morning.
How you doing?
Yeah, I just, as a person who was going to Junkanoo for 20 years and who have indoctrinated his child to come to Junkanoo from since she was young, and who has invited persons from abroad to come, this Junkanoo was the worst Junkanoo I've experienced for at least to my knowledge. And most of these people who calling in, they haven't been to Junkanoo. Like the last caller, someone said they haven't been to Junkanoo for like 7 years. They just talking. I'm telling you, as someone who was there from 9 p.m. until 6 a.m., this was horrendous as it relates to the long parades. And like DeAndre was saying, I typically sit in the front of Scotiabank, and I deliberately pick certain seats so I can have the best view. And if I didn't come early, trust me when I say you wouldn't have sit in the seat that you paid for. It was crazy. They were not organized as it relates to numbering the seats properly, like she was saying. I don't know. Here's my suggestion as someone who's been going all my life. Listen, spaces happen in Junkanoo. We know that. Like they have slack time. My thing is like when Barabbas, well, like he was saying, but why they arrested him, how fun groups to eat up that space or that time. How in between groups or the smaller groups to do something. The only thing I was noticing is they were entertaining those people in Russian Square. They had the mic, the MC
Right.
So everybody else from Scotiabank down didn't matter. Only the so-called people in Washington Square they were entertaining. Everybody else those delays were like an hour long. I don't know if DeAndre was there for the whole thing, but there were some long delays for hours, and after a while, your booty started to go to sleep, and you're just sitting there for hours on them cold seats, draft, and you're scared to move because if you don't have no one to keep your seat will be. I saw a few. Thank God they didn't allow. They had some near fights that almost happened for persons who came probably after their family gathering on Christmas. They came there like 1 o'clock or 12 o'clock, and people who was there before they couldn't get the people out of the seats. So my thing is, my last suggestion I would have is have somehow some type of entertainment or the smaller groups or the fun groups, or allow the fun groups to come in between those long gaps. And lastly, even it used to be entertainment when the police used to hitch up people and walk down there. To me, that was. I saw one event where they had police and people cheering for that because they were so boring just sitting down there. I don't know. Anyway, I'll hang up a listen.
Yeah, thank you. No, I appreciate it. But again, having fun groups ready to fill a gap is that's part of a management thing that needs to be extremely organized because they have to be sitting waiting, and you say, okay, Valley, you ain't ready to come out yet? Were you trying to put this together? Well, okay, all right. Paper boys, get out there right now. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
But they're not going to do that. They say, hey, we supposed to go out after these people. We're going out after these people.
Well, that's what it is, and that's why they be stenching on moving and whatnot like that, right? But then let's go back to the whole penalty situation, because I was hearing and I'm reading about how some people thought it was penalties. Some people didn't think it was penalties. I mean, the folks were in the public saying that there may have been. But imagine if you got penalties for being late or dragging your feet. Then we wouldn't have the lags, right? But then it has to be tangible. It got to be something.
They just take them. They just take the penalty.
Listen, I know, but Tessa, I gotta add on top of what was said, just so y'all understand. This has happened to me almost every year, not just me, like groups of people.
Yeah.
So the very first, I was 22, I think. I literally fresh off the plane, right? My friend says we're going to Junkanoo. Again, I've been going to Junkanoo since I was in high school, right? So we go. She has seats in, that's Parliament Square, so over by where Queen Victoria statue is outside. We get there. Thing's supposed to start, I think it was like 10 o'clock or so, right? We get there. They had the gates on the back end of it, but that's where you enter. They had it locked. I was like, hold on, wait, what's going on? People say, seats. I was like, what do you mean, no seats? And it wasn't just me and my friend, right? This was a group of almost 50 people.
Wow.
Being told that we had no seats, right?
But you had tickets in there.
But we had tickets. Everybody had paid tickets. Yeah. And the amount of phone calls that were being made and cussing going on or whatnot. And they were like, yeah, people are in y'all seats. There are no seats. Yeah. Then y'all need to go and get the people out of the seats.
Yeah.
So this happens, I feel like every year. Don't matter if it's NJC, JCNP, whoever doing it. It seems like it's always happening. Well, I don't think it's them primarily.
Long lulls is a good time to go eject people from seats they ain't supposed to be in.
But they ain't supposed to be from the voice.
Me and you were just talking about New Jersey Transit, right? So you got the people, you get your ticket on your phone, you get on the train, and the train start going.
Right.
And the conductor coming around, he punching tickets. You on the train, it moving, so you better have your ticket. I don't know what they can do to you if you don't have it. But they try to make you pay on the spot. But
I think that's how much is the fine? $300 or something like that.
Right. So, but the point is, this one conductor going through all the, they could have people saying, especially if a group done pass and you can't see another group down the road. Okay.
Verify your things.
Everybody, I've been getting people saying, you in their seat. And then talk to these people. Let me see your ticket. You in the wrong seat. Let me see your ticket. You ain't supposed to be here.
Yeah.
What you know what I'm saying? It's not fair for people like you who pay.
No, but see, the thing is, they're not going to interfere with what they got going on. I got to make sure the people who vote for me or who support me, who doing certain things for me, because I see some of that thing going on too. I can't say it on air, but it's almost like you interrupted my flow.
Yeah.
I got to be able to do that, because then we have to also keep in mind, folks, this is about ego as well. Because I in charge, so I could do this. Who is you to tell me I can't be doing this?
Yeah.
That's why when the people show up, who is you to tell me to move out the seat?
Yeah.
Because you're literally mirroring what you have been told.
Oh, let's take some of these calls. Wait, actually, let's transition. Yeah, let's do that first. Call us. You can hang up and call back, or just hanging on. We're going to go to Morning Blend Business. This is Morning Blend. We'll be right back.
Struggling to find your financial rhythm? Make that move to Fidelity and let us help you orchestrate your financial goals into perfect harmony with free financial coaching sessions. Make that move today. Call 356-7764.
Fidelity, we're good for you.
This is Guardian Radio 96.9 FM, streaming on GuardianTalkRadio.com and the Guardian Radio app, Nassau, Bahamas. The views and opinions of the hosts and guests are their own and do not necessarily reflect the views of the management and staff of Guardian Radio.
Wake up, it's a new day. Wake up, it's a new day.
Good morning. Welcome to Morning Blend Business here on Guardian Radio 96.9. I'm Chester Robards, filling in for Dwight Strachan along with Deandra Cartwright. We're continuing our conversation about Junkanoo. Is Junkanoo a business? It could be. It could be big business.
I think they try to say that it is.
Some people are trying
but
to say
I am not sure if it truly qualifies as one. Maybe a failing business.
Tickets are a business, though.
No, but that's what I'm saying. It's like it has to be a. I want to see the numbers. Like, is there going to be a report? There should be a report.
Should be. One
so we
would
can
think.
try ascertain that. But yeah, no. But Junkanoo is on a serious note, Junkanoo is a business. Now, whether you're in the business to make money, if it's that type of business, maybe not. But if you're on the receiving end, right? Because what was that? There's an article inside the paper today talking about Barabbas at Junkanoo World, saying that this year was his worst year. With sales for on the components to make costumes or whatnot, because the bigger businesses have gotten into it. Literally, I was inside I don't know if I could call companies names per se. I was in that business for what that business is named for, and I walk in, they got Junkanoo supplies. I was like, what? Like, this has nothing to do with gases and things like that. Like, what? But it is a healthy business.
That was big Junkanoo people, though.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying, right? So you have, if you are in the business of selling these things, yeah, man, you're making money. Now, if you're in the business of the one making the costume, what is your return on investment? It's really nothing, because you putting in your time. You're putting in your time, your effort. You got to go buy them things. That's when I am not a Junkanoo with Chester. I am not. Like, I don't be inside a shack. I just know people who's be in a shack, right? Yeah. But when we talking about that seed money, and we break that down for the amount of persons inside a group, for the amount of money that each one of those persons spends on their costume, that is coins. Those are peanuts. And granted, yes, be grateful that you get a little something, but let's be clear, that seed money can't really help in the larger scheme of things when you take into consideration how much it costs to make each one of them costumes. And when we talk about prize money, it's the same thing. So these persons are in the business of doing it because they love to do it. It's for the bragging rights or whatnot. But if we look at dollars and cents, it's a losing game for them.
Yeah. I'm sure Amazon don't know it, but they got plenty of products on Bay Street.
No, but see, that's another thing too, because we have to actually. I feel. Once as we. I want to say is I don't want to say that we're not being objective, because I don't think that's what this is. I want to say that we have to take a step back when we look at, and it's not just with Junkanoo, it's with several business models, right? When we wonder why people aren't buying from us. If I could go online and find it cheaper, and then by the time as I actually order that, pay those taxes, ship and pay those things, get it to the importer and pay the freight, customs, duty, whatnot to get it in, and it's still cheaper than what you got in your store, I'm going to go do that.
Yeah.
So it's like we have to take a step back. Why is it that persons are getting it from abroad? And can I bring my prices down or whatnot? I don't know if that's feasible. But we got to look at the fact that people, you already ain't making no money off it, so I got to save every dollar where I could.
Yeah. Well, I was kind of speaking specifically to like things that are not pasted. Or maybe can't. I'm sure that everything could be created and pasted, but much to my chagrin, I still think there's too much costumes on Bay. Like things that you order online.
Oh yeah, no, I saw that too.
I remember when the conversation about cloth came up, and there was all the controversy about cloth. Oh, too much cloth in these groups, too much cloth on Bay Street, and I think in some cases there is too much.
Yeah,
right? But
I've heard about
the conversation about feathers too. That came up years and years ago. It was, once upon a time, it was all gray paper.
Yeah,
for the most part.
I feel like last year's parades, the conversation again on the types of material used, that came up a lot, and I was one of my guests was asking. They were so sure that a particular group was going to get first place. Yeah. And I was like, no, they will not. It's because of, they were like, no, they're beautiful. Like, they're on point. I said, they may win points for dancing, choreography, for their music. Yeah. But when we look at the amount of airbrushing, when we look at the amounts of non-traditional components of their costuming, of their actual pieces, that's going to bring down points, because the judging rubric, it has to be as close to traditional as possible. Yeah. And that's not the case here. But I feel, again, some people just don't care. I want to look realistic, and let me go do that.
Yep. That is what it is.
Which, by the way, I'm still trying to I didn't try to be a judge this year. Last year, I tried to be a judge. I didn't even get a call back. Wow. I felt hurt. I was like, is it because I'm a Long Island woman? I mean, we could appreciate Junkanoo too.
That's what it is. This person says, good. This is, again, continuing along the lines of what you suffered, Deandra. I can't fathom paying for seats and someone else sitting in them. Where was the bleacher marshal?
I couldn't find it.
What is a bleacher marshal?
Listen,
do they exist?
I thought it's like two.
It's like them genies from one family.
No, there are 2 to 3. At least, again, I can only speak for Section M. 2 to 3 persons that stand on each side at the entry point. Right. Now, in previous parades, I have seen them actually move around just to check. They weren't doing that. In fact, to actually get to the front, to move along, that was so tight because the space between the knee and the barricade was just so small. I was like, my gosh. But I couldn't even get their attention. Yeah. I had to stand up because, again, I'm an adult, 1, but 2, I was in the classroom for quite some time as well. This is how you deal and diffuse and all that good stuff or whatnot. But then I also like to try to understand, why are you the way you are? Right. Why are you acting this way? So I just simply stood. I was like, well, if you're not going to move, then you're not going to watch the thing. I'm just going to stand right here and tell you to stand and need to get the attention of somebody because you're not staying here. Yeah. But yeah, no, it happens. And it happens in almost every section. And the thing is that the very fact that we have persons that are texting us who have called us to say that this has also happened to them, but it still happens every year, that means the people who are facilitating it Don't see a problem with it.
Yeah.
I am also curious, in addition to how many tickets were available for sale, how many did you actually get sold? 2, 3, I want to know how many free tickets and bands were given out. I just want to know. Because if we had to suppose with the, 7 rows on each side of Parliament, in addition to the groupings of persons, man, that's quite a significant percentage of unpaid seats.
Yep. Someone continuing with the call to take Junkanoo off Bay Street says, "Good morning, Chester and your guests. It's time to take Junkanoo off Bay Street." Okay.
Well, where we going? Let's see.
That's
We need a straight. Where's the straight?
Yeah, tell us where we're gonna go.
Carmichael. Gladstone Road. I feel like Gladstone would make I feel like it could happen on Gladstone. You just determine which sections of it and hope it don't rain. Which is another thoroughfare. You can't say go to the boulevard to the sidewalks a little. You ain't got too much space because you got to set up the bleachers because that's what you got to think about. Like the Bahama Boulevard, you can't up and down.
Oh.
And let's see, where else, guys? Because it can't just be a straight road, right? It has to be a straight road that has enough space on the sides to set up the bleachers. But imagine if you had a longer straight to work with other than Bay.
Yeah.
But see, it's about tradition. But we got to fix it because the tradition ain't working properly.
Yeah.
And I think it could possibly work. So outside of the seating could work. I feel like there are ways to improve that. Is the actual performance, because as we were hearing, it's like only how many limited entrance space. And then if you already start lining up, you don't have space to actually slide through ahead of the people who may not be ready.
Well, the other thing too is most shacks are pretty close to Bay Street, right? I
think there are a good much that are. There are a good bunch that are.
Most of them are pretty close.
But I would also say traffic, because I passed one of them shacks coming through, because my mommy is a good morning mother. She's a Saxons. My baby sister is a Valley girl. They have been added inside our house, home on Long Island. So I was like, I just calmed my little sister down real quick. I was like, you say you're a Valley girl, but which one? Which one?
That's what you did,
Yeah, that's what I did. Because I was like, you can't be disrespecting our moms. And I was like, how you even get a Valley girl? Your mom's a Saxons. So I went through Saxons Way, right? Because I just wanted to see how it was. There was traffic backed up, right? By the time we exited up from McCullough Corner, I always forgot what name that is. There was a bumper-to-bumper traffic on East Street North. And I was like, but where people think they could park, you can't park. The third parade gonna be happening right down Shirley Street. What do you mean? And then that traffic literally continued past not Rosetta, that's 866 Terrace. Like past that.
Wow.
So almost down by Pilgrim Baptist Church.
Right.
I was like, my Lord, and people staying on this line.
That's great.
So it is also about the traffic to get your pieces there. That's why they have to be in earlier on. But I think it's, perhaps we can look into strategically placing certain groups through certain corners or whatever like that. I know some of the pieces are large. That could be difficult. George Street, Frederick Street, maybe, which one is that little tiny street? Maybe not that one. But it's also about where they place the bleachers too. So they have to start before certain sections as well.
Yeah.
So I don't know. And to be fair, they be having their larger pieces from all the way around from by the point. So I don't know. I think it just goes back to, as the callers and the text has been saying, is management.
Yep.
And it's to be fair, it ain't just the new management. This has been a problem for years.
Yep. Let's take this call. See what this caller is saying. Good morning, caller. Welcome to Morning Blend Business.
Good morning.
Good morning.
Chester and DeAndre.
Morning. How you doing?
I hear you, and I'm sitting here, and I'm just shaking my head. It's like, when will we get it right?
When?
I was one of the first bleacher marshals back in the day, and we took our jobs seriously. I remember I was in front of Barclays Bank. We took our jobs seriously. Like so many things in this country, we've allowed too much slackness. We can get it right, We just need enforcers. And DeAndre, I shake my head again as you talked about the people who came attempting to take your seats away from you. We have to get serious.
Yes,
you know, my sister works for one of the airlines, and you get a buddy pass. You don't even get buddy pass no more because you might as well pay for regular ticket. When you go on a buddy pass, you're on standby,
Yeah.
But you have to dress a certain way to get that buddy pass. And you have to wait until they tell you a seat is available. We have to get serious in this country with so many. We are politicizing too many things. And it's causing the country to operate chaotically, if that's a word.
Absolutely.
Come, Bahamians, man, we going into 2026. Let's get this country right. Stop giving away free things. All those free tickets, let them pay something. See how many will show up to come and sit down.
Exactly. And then make some money off it. Because if you say you need more money to make the parade better, then look at how much money you're losing. Again, if we say it's a business model, step back and let's look at this objectively. But they don't want to do that.
And some of these things, we allow politics to filter in where it ought not to be. The politics needs to stay, and we talk about a parade management. We had the JCNP, who in my opinion, seemingly did a good job. And they were working to get it to where it ought to be. And with minimal disruption. And then we just allow something else to happen in a couple of weeks leading up to the parade. Let's get it together. That's all I'm saying. The country, we cannot continue to run on what we are running on, because it's discouraging visitors. It's discouraging our young people from returning. It's discouraging this. It's discouraging that. And we can't just talk the talk. We need to do some things. And I look around and we talk about change. Do we really want change in this country?
I ask myself that every day, I promise you.
Do we really want change? The nonsense needs to stop. It's too much nonsense. Too many political patronage, too many political favors. The country needs to run. The country needs to make a profit. The country needs to see more money going into the treasury. Bahamians, let's act right, man. Let's act right. That's all it is, DeAndre and Robot.
Yeah.
Everybody needs to do right.
Yep, absolutely.
Not act. We need to do right.
Yep.
You all have a wonderful rest of the Christmas season. I heard it goes on until the 6th, and then Happy New Year.
Same to you.
Yes.
Have a great day.
Have a good one.
Thanks for calling.
I personally got a text message just because apparently what I say ain't making sense. I get a couple different things coming through on my personal line. One of my boys says, "Morning, that's how I know JCNP didn't want better. I applied to be a judge, not even an acknowledgement. A friend said, oh, your application looks good. And then nothing official. Yes, I also heard through the grapevine that my application looked good too, but nobody called me.
JCNP?
Yeah, from the last time, because I didn't bother to go this time, right? I was like, let me see how the new folks go, and then I could try again, right? But then I realized, I got that out. Right. So I know I was asking questions because, again, y'all know I like to ask questions. Why is it that I don't pull for no particular group, but then I heard that might be the problem, that I should
can't
pull.
be bought nor sold.
Right. So apparently, a lot of the persons who are involved are affiliated with a group, allegedly, right? So I was like, maybe that's why. And then I asked Dwight at one point when I realized for real I didn't get a call back. I was like, bae, I think it's because I'm on the radio with you. Because my Saturday show, the happy hour, is happy, it's balanced, it's neutral. I don't get into trouble on that one. This one, this show right here, I was like, so I must say something to make somebody upset. Because why y'all ain't want to let me be a judge or whatnot? And then, it's also the other side that you hear about, but you can't talk about because I am going to get sued for allegations. But anyway, and then I have somebody who messaged says, thank you so much for mentioning that it is a labor of love.
Yeah.
Being a junkaneur. I just had on the Saturday show, I had the folks from Genesis on to talk because I'm trying to do a series to get the behind the scenes and things like that too. Literally, the dollar amount could never compare to what they actually have to work with. Like, you literally cannot pay for what a junkaneur goes through to get to Bay.
Yeah.
It's the time that they're putting in. It's the emotional investment into it. It is literally the effort it takes to be on point, whether that's in music, choreography, and making sure that your costume is at a particular standard. Like that takes time. And you were saying before I got in, like 6 months you inside that shit. You know what that is to be away from your family. I know if I could do it. One man in Junkanoo was trying to date me, and I was like, listen, I don't know if I don't know. Because your shock is the mistress. I don't know.
Yeah.
I don't know. And if I show up there, I don't know. But no, it is a labor of love.
Yeah, absolutely. Let's take this call coming in. Good morning, caller. Welcome to Morning Blend Business. Caller, you there? Okay, let's read one of these text messages. This person says, I'm saying it's unfixable if the groups remain the same size. The venue remains the same. The roads leading to the parade remain narrow. All the scrap groups want to rush. All the junkanooers continue to say the chaos, the unfinished costumes, the last-minute approach are all part of the fun, and we describe it as the greatest show on earth. If none of that changes, it's unfixable. All right. And another text message saying, you can't blame the management team if people choose to sit in someone else's seat. It's our people that choose. Okay, we read that. Getting a free band seat doesn't mean you get to sit anywhere. The free band has seat assignments as well. Do they?
No, that ain't what two groups of people. Like I say, it was a group of 3 young girls who said you just sit anywhere and that's Junkanoo.
Yeah.
I never heard that before in all my years. Then there was a group of sensible older folk
Hear what
who
they're
also
saying.
got the bands.
Hear what they're saying. Chaos is Junkanoo.
Well, I guess that's what they're saying. I ain't like that at all. But then you had the group of older ladies, and they were like, yeah, they just told us to sit anywhere in this section. I said, so like when they said this section, did they say like right here, here, and here? They were like, no. Like, oh, that looks to be an empty space. Y'all go right in there. I was like, no, because if y'all catch me and some of my family members, if they, no, listen, after we done finish eating our food and drinking, we'll be, no. I succumb one at a bunch for some of us. I want y'all to understand that.
This person says, my problem is that I paid for my seat, and when the major group hit Bay, the commissioner and her team comes to Bay too, and they stand right in front of me. Interesting.
So on that right there, I think I counted last year. It was like 7 times they did that. I just call it the swarm. It's like the hive. They just go back and forth. And they did it less times this year, to be fair. They did it less times. And it's not during the same time that a major group is coming by. They move out of the way.
This person says, so the same government officials who used, quote, improvements as a basis for challenging and removing the JCNP are effectively sabotaging the parade by free seats giveaways.
Well, again, to be fair, this has been happening. The free seating has been happening for years, right? It may have just intensified. And I have a suspicion that there were more free seats this year. That's why I want to know if there is a public report on the amount of seats that were available for purchase. Sorry, the amount of seats. The amount of seats that were available for purchase and the amount of seats that were held back for not public consumption. Like, I just want to see a breakdown of it. It should be relatively simple because they use a mechanized system.
Yeah.
So just give me the outputs from it. I would love to see it. Because then that'll help us to see that, 25% of the seats were given away for free. Do you know what is 25% of a baseline budget to say what I could make? 25. I mean, I'm just estimating. I just want to know. Yeah. I'm not even counting the fold down chairs that they make again between 5 to 7 rows.
Boy. This person says, "Happy holidays, Chester, and to your guest. I was a judge in Junkanoo for 12 years in the 80s and early 90s. To fix the long gaps, just allow musical groups to compete for Best Original Junkanoo Song. These groups have to perform on Bay and Shirley Street. They would also need to have the ability to dismantle quickly after performing. Just a starting idea." Okay, well, thanks for the idea. And the good day. I feel that the presentation of Junkanoo has deteriorated too long. A wait between groups equals poor parade management. Seats filled by persons who didn't purchase tickets equals poor parade management. Next point, we can't take Junkanoo off Bay. It will lose its whole historical and cultural significance. I was thinking the same thing.
Yeah, no.
It reminds Bahamians who they want to know their history, how far we've come, celebrate that, and how far we have to go. Plus, the music ain't going to sound right without the building for it to reverberate off. Junkanoo equals Bay Street. Yeah, I feel the same way about Bay Street. As person says, "Don't read this on air." and then I can't read the rest of it.
Hold on, wait. No, can I read? Wait,
I'll let you. Let me just read this last text.
Okay.
This person says, "Good morning. I felt like we went back 10 years sitting at Junkanoo. So discouraging. They brought back a bunch of the old guard into the so-called new management committee. How can you move forward when younger, innovative people are being left out? And this is an international event. How do we go on the world stage like this? We do not. Or cannot. We need to get Disney to put Junkanoo in a movie, and then maybe we can figure things out from there."
Lord, I don't know. Just no. No. Because I could already see that being
cartoon movie. Cartoon movie. Yeah, no,
I mean, much like copyrighted licenses. Next thing you know, we paying other people to use our own things. No, man, I ain't do that.
A cartoon movie. That's what we need. Some cartoon Junkanoo in a big Disney film.
Oh, I like that. Yes. I mean, let me come out here 1 minute and go make a call. I want to know. This is another Junkanooer, one of the premier ones. She's very involved. We need to separate the A from the B and have 2 parade days, Boxing Day, and 2 parades for New Year's. I hear you, friend. I do. But I still go back to, if we serious about people making money, or there being money made, I am not sure if I keep calling it subscription, if the appetite for B groups is the same as A groups. I just don't think, it is there, but I'm not sure it's on the same level.
But let's say we do this experiment. Right. So the order in which people come out changes based on the number you grab and stuff, right? But if you got, let's say you had one parade just for A groups,
suddenly,
but suddenly, without a change in other things in the management of the parade, you got 2 hours between groups because ain't nobody. Imagine the second A group ain't ready to come out. They already block up the pipe.
Well, that's all right. It is. Perhaps another thing to do is maybe to encourage more scrap groups. Maybe to be fillers. So just like what you were saying, because I do listen when I be on the way here. It's like, okay, A group ain't ready or B group ain't ready, whatever. Come, y'all come right here. Like they on standby, ready to go.
On the sideline.
And because it ain't nothing in for them, they just doing it for the fun. Like go right ahead.
Everybody in one staging area, and you say, okay, y'all ready? Let's go.
Yeah, exactly.
Y'all head out.
And you have a couple of those. ready to go. And
but if you have people lined up and they know that their order is after this one, well, they running around doing whatever they doing until their time. Well, so you can't even find them to put them on the road to fill a space.
Or they purposely will not be found.
Or that.
Yeah, that part.
This person says, text message. Sigh, let them have their historical ancestral parade on Bay Street. The modern day business is elsewhere. Reminder that this Junkanoo looks nothing like the free historical Junkanoo. That
Well,
too.
see, I go back to that, and so I was very intentional with my words about, the purchasing of tickets and things like that, too. I literally said earlier, the fact that we pay for Junkanoo, and then I have a problem personally. I pay for Junkanoo, but the people who end up parading and getting paid, I think that, who? Like, I don't understand this. You putting on a free show. And I think when we talk about organizing this event and people getting freebies and things, am I the only one who's just a tad bit upset? You ain't a Junkanoo, but you as politician and you giving away free tickets. Meanwhile, I busted my backside inside a shack for 6 months to make sure my thing look good, but I can't invite nobody for free. If they want to see me for free, they got to come on Shirley.
Yeah.
Like, the hypocrisy of it all. Like, I think I got it, man. Hey, I may call Dr. B and see if I could start writing another paper. When I get upset, Jess, I like to write articles, not newspaper ones, journal articles, with data and statistics and things. But I don't even think we quantify things like this. This would be purely anecdotal from the eyes of a Long Island person. Anyway, I see we got calls.
Well, let me read this text message. This person who's talking about seating again. We had a group of 15, no gate signs so that you and the workers know we are in the right place. When we got to our section finally, we were told to sit anywhere. How could this be when we had to specifically choose seats when purchasing the tickets? And to say the least, most persons working the gate were simply confused or angry about what was happening.
Yeah.
Wow.
That sounds like they tried, then they gave up.
Yep. Really, I mean, at some point.
No, because that's what I saw.
I'm sure you're getting riled too.
No, that is literally what I saw when there was a group of 5 persons ahead of me and my nephew, and they did not have like the green bands of what we use in Section M. I don't know where, if any other section had different colors or whatever, but if you bought a ticket and they checked it, that's when you got. The people in front of me did not. They had like the funsy bands, that's what I'll call those. And so they just sat anywhere. And the person at the gate was like, they don't know what y'all expect for us to do if y'all keep sending persons who don't have seats.
Yeah.
But anyway.
But just boils down to people not caring. I mean, they just don't care. Yeah. Let's take this next call. Good morning, caller. Welcome to Morning Blend Business.
On me called twice, but the show was nice. One lady called and she was spot on. She was 1,000% correct.
Yeah.
Chester and DeAndre.
Hey.
What happened to the Moses school? According to the Bible.
Man, tell me, I had my espresso this morning.
Okay, they were so disrespectful, worshiping the idol, worshiping man and woman, and God showed them the promised land, but they couldn't touch it.
Okay.
Nothing was working in this country until 80% of them get out of our way and die. I hate to say like this, but I can die too. But see, nothing's going to work in this country because somebody's saying the waste not over Dame Sawyer. Boy, that was so nice. I can try to keep that. I'm going to try to keep that. Out of other behemoths began to say the same thing that she's saying, then the politicians and the pastors and these civil servants will start doing what they're supposed to do. But the part didn't want it before, But the part told them, we are the servants, We are the servants.
Mm-hmm.
See, these are the kind of people that we need. People like Ed McGarvey, they good civil servants. A lady by the name of Debbie Pear. See, hey, so much good people in this country, but, I don't know if they're afraid. But see, and that's why they don't want a recall system. They don't want Freedom of Information Act. It's corruption. You know something, Chester, I think you said you tried to border people poor for the Old West a couple of years ago. And let me tell you what's going to happen. I say, Doc, why don't you repeal the landholder knockback? I say, I know why Papa did it to bring in money, right? Second homeowners who got American money, because, our money can pay an American dollar. But they're taking the landholder, which is my children and my grandchildren. The Bahamas is one of the only countries in the world like foreigners, so they want people to know. They don't worry about us, Just you think the politicians went, but you and your children and your family?
Nope.
You think the pastors went, but you only the Andrew. They went, but they went, but the money.
Mm-hmm.
They free that. The justice of peace. I saw the minister a couple of months ago say, we got to recall 800 taxi pays. But why do you give them away?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, we got to fix this country, man. That's all I can say.
Yeah.
What's the next year? I can build them like right on right.
Mm-hmm.
My mom and pa and dad. Thank my call.
Thank you. Appreciate it. Yeah, you said a mouthful there.
Boy.
Let's take this next call. Good morning, caller. Welcome to Morning Blend Business.
Good morning, Chester.
Good morning.
Can you hear me, Chester?
I can hear you.
Yes, good morning to you and your co-host.
Morning.
Chester, for the last 40 years, we've been doing the same thing and expecting different results. I served as the chief music judge for about 10 years, several years ago. We made serious recommendations with regard to the broadcasting of the Junkanoo music. We had an international consultancy advise us that the only way to do it is you got to crystallize the area just like you do in a movie set. And you run microphones from Frederick Street, for example, from Frederick Street all the way to East Street. And you have a sound mix that is sent to a master distributor that will disseminate the sound throughout the networks. The bottom line is, when you have a camera that's filming at street level, and they're right in front of the horn section, for example, that's all you're going to hear.
Mm-hmm.
You're not going to hear the full sound of the Junkanoo group. Secondly, the groups are much, much too large, and the way they distribute the instrumentation throughout the groups. You got all the drummers at the back. You got all the horn players at the front. The rhythm in the back is different from what you're hearing up front. It's not synchronized. It's not in tune. The horns, a lot of them are out of tune. All of these things have to be addressed, and you have to have professionals who understand the art and the technology of audio visual production in order to give you, quote, a world-class presentation.
Mm-hmm.
That's point number one.
Yeah.
Number two, in terms of spaces between the groups, we've agitated many years ago, too, before you were born, probably. We had characters that would fill those spots. We had men just, one guy called a flower man. All he's doing is throw flour all over his body. Other one was wearing old banana leaf, croton leaf wrapped round. And these were characters that entertained the people between the major groups. Today we've got stilt walkers, we've got our people who can do what you call the clowns and all these circus acrobats, etc., that could fill those spaces that does not require any audible sound, so that you have that discussion that someone talked about, the major groups following each other together.
Right.
You got stilt walkers, etc., etc., etc. You need a producer, Chester, if you're going to have a production. You have all these people who are political cronies and call themselves festival producers who know absolutely nothing about production.
Yeah.
Therein lies some of our problems, and until we fix them and get rid of the cronyism in terms of the art form, in terms of what we're trying to do on a national level, and we're talking about monetizing Junkanoo, it will never happen. Because the world-class production that we're looking for will not happen with the cronies producing it.
Yeah.
Thank you very much.
Thank you. Appreciate it. No, a lot said there too. Let's take this next call. Good morning, caller. Welcome to Morning Blend Business. No. Good morning, caller. Welcome to Morning Blend Business. Caller, you there? Let's read some more of these text messages. Good morning. It seems like Junkanoo is coming like elections, that people that make the most contributions don't benefit.
I mean, again, we don't want to talk about it, but that's what it is. Like, you always forget I'm a human rights person, right? Like, where's the benefits for the human?
But, you know, it's interesting what Freddie Munnings, which is called, said, having entertainment in between the groups, that entertainment has to be paid. So, again, we're talking about creating a business model. Them people ain't coming out for free, I'm sure. They're not necessarily Junkanoos. They are entertainers. And if they're going to entertain a crowd, to please that crowd, they got to get paid.
Well, I'm sure the persons that are in the square during the breaks are also getting paid. So,
oh yeah, they're getting paid, but
Right.
they just out there talking, making people race and all kind of weird things.
Even after the play almost break himself up, that was Asha year before.
Yikes. This person said, I had a similar experience. They told us to sit anywhere in the section. This was 9:30 p.m. Totally unacceptable. The gaps were really ridiculous. The groups were told beforehand that they would not be disqualifications. Who incentivized who? This incentivized who, right? Talking about the no disqualification thing.
Mm.
I think the best way to fill the gap is to have bands on flatbed trucks with Bahamian entertainment.
Imagine
top
if
of the-
you,
you know.
like, no, seriously, imagine if you had, like, say, each one of those flatbed, and I don't know if we could deal with the trucks or whatnot, because that's just going to add to it. But what if we had an entertainer, like our Bahamian greats and the up and comings or whatnot,
Yeah.
that come in between, right? And depending on how short that performance may be, we could possibly afford something like that. But if we're not collecting all of the funds from the tickets that are possibly available, how could we do that?
Yeah.
Sorry, I see it.
This
Let me
person
hate.
says, I will forego my multi-million-dollar consultancy fee. There are thousands of acres at the sports complex. How long is the route? Build a facade that resembles Bay Street. Group access on both sides. As one group exits, another group is already in position. The street wide enough. The seating is on even ground, not crammed in. There's parking. Streets leading in are wide and can handle large trucks. I wait for someone to announce their idea. Yeah, I don't know, boy. Getting them off Bay Street could be hard. This person says, this is Sparky, 67 years old. I was a Valley boy. I have a Valley boy. I've been a Valley boy since 1958, 67 years. This year, I visited the Valley Boys shack. On entering, I was told to stay away. My mother was the first sponsor of the Valley in 1958. I was accused of taking pictures of costumes 4 days before John knew when costumes are finished.
Yeah, but I mean, I want to touch that. I want to touch that because you were because there are
I
notes.
didn't know if I was allowed to take pictures of my
No, but I started trying to figure out right now. I was like, how could you? No, it's not your. You were.
Let's take a break on that note for the morning business report. Yeah, how about that?
Step inside the John Baptiste Jazz Club at Bahamar, where the rhythm of the islands of the Bahamas meets the soul of New Orleans. Every night, the lights dim, the music swells, and the air fills with that unmistakable energy, the kind that makes you close your eyes and just feel. Savor signature cocktails, curated small plates, and live performances from world-class musicians, all in an intimate, artfully designed space where every seat has a story. Whether it's a romantic night out or a spontaneous evening with friends, this is where you want to be. The John Baptiste Jazz Club, only at Bahamar. Reserve your table now at bahamar.com/jazz club or through the Bahamar app, because every evening plays its own tune.
As an athlete, I've learned that success isn't built on extras. It's built on the essentials. Strength, discipline, smart choices. That's why I'm proud to partner with Bahama Health to introduce Essential 300, a comprehensive health insurance plan that's all about covering what truly matters. Essential 300 is Bahama Health's most affordable major medical plan for groups and individuals. It offers access to a specialized network of care with essential benefits like preventative services, because real strength starts with staying healthy. You may not be training for a race, but everyone deserves strong and affordable coverage with Essential 300. With Bahama Health, you can feel good about your health plan and protect what truly matters, your health.
For more information, call 396-1350 or visit www.bahamahealth.com.
Put more money back in your pocket with the Fidelity Debt Consolidation Loan. Why pay more when you can pay less? Reduce your monthly debt payments down to one low, easy payment. Apply for a Fidelity Debt Consolidation Loan today. Call 356-7764.
Fidelity, we're good for you.
It's that time of year again when we look ahead, setting goals, making plans, and envisioning a better tomorrow. At CFAL, we're here to guide you every step of the way. Whether you're ready to start investing, strengthen your retirement, or build lasting generational wealth, CFAL helps you plan wisely, invest strategically, and secure what matters most, a brighter, more confident future for you and your family. Call us today to speak with a trusted financial advisor and start the new year on the right track. CFAL, growing wealth for future generations.
This is Guardian Radio 96.9 FM, streaming on GuardianTalkRadio.com and the Guardian Radio app, Nassau, Bahamas.
And now it's time for my morning business report brought to you by CFAL. Bahamar's group business outlook for 2026 remains strong, especially for the first quarter of the year. The resort's president, Graham Davis, told Guardian Business recently. Davis has stated on more than one occasion how important the meetings, incentives, conferences, and expositions market is to Bahamar. He explained that there is still room for more MICE business later into the year. And Junkanoo Supplies retailer said sales are flat this year, calling it the worst season since he began retailing Junkanoo Supplies, trinkets, and pieces. Quinton Barabbas Woodside, owner and operator of Junkanoo World, told Guardian Business that since larger shops have gotten into the Junkanoo Supplies business, smaller stores like his have not been seeing the level of sales he anticipated. And the Ministry of Finance, in its September report on fiscal operations, said government revenue increased by 16.3% to $218.3 million from the previous year. A release on the ministry's Bahamas budget website revealed, quote, during the review month, total revenue reached $218.3 million, an increase of $30.6 million compared to the prior year. Tax receipts at $199 million featured value-added tax collections of $110.3 million. Which grew by $25 million due to strengthened compliance, alongside a $11.7 million increase in VAT on realty-related transactions. And a new Inter-American Development Bank report explains that if the United States growth forecast for 2026 falls below the projected 2.1%, a reduction in demand for Caribbean tourism could occur, especially affecting middle-tier tourism destinations. This Caribbean Economic Quarterly Report explains that the indirect effects of U.S. policies, including U.S. President Donald Trump's tariffs, pose risks for the Caribbean in the near term. According to the report, the U.S. Federal Reserve is more concerned about U.S. growth weakening than the downside effects of inflation. In business news overseas, since returning to the White House in January, President Donald Trump has overturned decades of U.S. trade policy, building a wall of tariffs around what used to be a wide-open economy. His double-digit taxes on imports from almost every country have disrupted global commerce and strained the budgets of consumers and businesses worldwide. They've also raised tens of billions of dollars for the U.S. Treasury. And the erratic way the president rolled out his tariffs, announcing them, then suspending or altering them before conjuring up new ones, made 2025 one of the most turbulent economic years in recent history. And the New York subway ends its iconic MetroCard era, switching fully to tap-and-go fares. When the Metro card replaced the New York City subway token in 1994, the swipeable plastic card infused much-needed modernity into one of the world's oldest and largest transit systems. Now, more than 3 decades later, the gold-hued fare card and its notoriously finicky magnetic strip are following the token into retirement. The last day to buy or refill a Metro card is December 31st, 2025, as the transit system fully transitions to OMNY, a contactless payment system that allows riders to tap their credit card, phone, or other smart device to pay fares much like they do for other everyday purchases. Transit officials say more than 90% of subway and bus trips are now paid using the tap-and-go system introduced in 2019. Major cities around the world, including London and Singapore, have long used similar contactless systems. In the U.S., San Francisco launched a pay-go system earlier this year, joining Chicago and others. And that's your morning business report, brought to you by CFAL, growing wealth for future generations. And welcome back to Morning Blend Business here on Guardian Radio 96.9. Chester Robards along with Deandra Cartwright. And I heard that song on Bay Street when I was out there. Was it when I was out there? Anyway, I heard it. Either when I was watching. Huh?
The song?
Yeah.
I played that song like Big Daddy.
That's Johnny Cake's song.
Yeah. Big Daddy. Listen, the first time I heard that song, there was a couple of weeks ago. I was on a boat during Best of the Best.
Yeah.
Not a sailing boat because I couldn't sail. I'm being hey for my doctor who may be listening. I was on the support boat. When I tell you it was carrying on bad between that and Whip Whap at the bass, what?
Yeah.
I was like, y'all producers, y'all Bahamian artists, y'all doing so good. Like, honestly. Big Daddy, Whip Whap. That's my boy Shine on that one too with Julian Believe. That's solid.
Big up Johnny Cake. That's my boy.
Listen, I like that.
yeah. This text message coming in. Still talking about Junkanoo. Junkanoo as a business. Junkanoo as Deandra put it, maybe a failing business. If it is a business in its entirety. Good morning, and y'all deserve double pay for being real talk show hosts that speak truth to power. You'll only fear God, so continue to share His word to regain the slogan, "It's better in the Bahamas," especially for what it means to be Bahamian. Refreshing.
I think they're trying to tell us, we may get in trouble for some of the things we were saying.
Will we? Can we?
No, I mean not legal, not like worker than legal.
These people know it's true.
No, see, so that's why I tell people, cool. I said there's only 2 humans on this planet that scare me. Only 2. Only 2.
One of them named Cartwright?
Yeah, of course. And the other one is Marie. This is a 16 and 17-year-old, respectively.
Oh, wow.
And the only how I scare them is if I ever disappoint them.
Yeah.
Everybody else, the same way I am right here. I promise you. I always used to ask, how in the world did I last 10 years working in government and I like this? Powerful.
You know what's nice? I like that I didn't want to read not that I didn't want to, but I thought the MetroCard story for Morning Blend Business would have been an interesting one. People who go to New York, and I'm sure many Bahamians go to New York. I pulled a MetroCard out of my wallet and showed Deandra. I was like, boy, I'm glad I got this last one this year because now I got to keep it and frame it or whatever.
Yeah. You have people to make art out of them.
Yeah. Exactly. And then there's this ad for Commonwealth Bank.
Yeah, they got Apple Pay.
They got Pay. Yeah, you could put your card on your phone.
I feel like they're the only
you
bank.
could tap your watch and your phone and whatever.
Sorry, let me clarify. They're the only Bahamian bank that I know, or a bank that operates in the Bahamas, that I know that facilitates Apple Pay, which is great because there are certain websites you can only use Apple Pay because they don't accept Bahamian cards. Some of these people, I want us to talk about that one day. Help me understand.
Yeah, but we got a good Bahamian company. I got to big them up. Canoe Pays, right? They're trying to do some stuff with wearables and stuff. They're doing it in Africa. But this New York MetroCard subway thing just reminds me of how behind the 8 ball we continue to be on certain things.
Right.
But that's why I'm glad to see this ad for Commonwealth Bank, right?
Yeah.
But we just like behind the 8 ball in so much things.
Because we behind the 8 ball, because we slow. We slow with certain things. What was the technology? What we have as a public they said that we're 50 years behind of what actually exists, right? But I find, who was it that told us that the Bahamas is almost 100 years behind? I forget who quantified it. They were like, we are literally, no, if you count technological and just logical advantages, like we 10 years behind here, 20 years behind here, 30 years behind this. Add all that up, collectively we're 100 years behind.
Wow.
But we could do, I have hope that we could do better.
I have hope we can do better too.
I believe in us.
But
I believe in us. Now, y'all please accept my application to be a judge next year. But I just I want Rush. I got an invitation just now to say I could come rush with them. I said, yeah, man.
I come in with you. You tell them I was coming too?
No, I could check. But see, you going on free dancing off the shoulder? Because I was trying to go with the choreographed girls.
No, I won't go off the shoulder.
You won't go off the shoulder? We could do this, but can you carry that weight, baby?
Yeah, man.
All right. You hear that?
I got a whole year.
I come into you. You see, I just dragged chest and me. We come into you, so you can get chest, so they can say we getting.